This is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Welcome to Dig on America, where we speak truth to power. Every week, we give you the dig on how American history, policies, and media created the social and political issues we face today. DOA is independent media supported by listeners, but they'll tell you we're just fake news, deep state propaganda, funded by George Soros, the Clinton Foundation, BLM Marxists, and...
Mikey hit the wrong button.
Mikey left. He left. He's gone.
So
he abandoned us.
Are we gonna sit here live on stream? Oh God, Mike, you goddamn fool!
Mikey, I thought I could go get ice.
Mikey, you hit the button for the start of it, and then you abandoned ship. You're the captain.
Man.
You didn't even have your headphones on. You didn't even hear me yelling at you.
I could hear you.
Okay.
It's I'm getting older. I thought I could run to the kitchen and grab.
You don't look it, baby.
I know it's a curse. I'm like Dorian Gray worm. That's me.
Fuck you.
Someone get that fan art together. Somebody get that going.
Yeah. Just a poster of Brad Dourif getting very old.
What's my man's from what's his face from Game of Thrones?
Which one?
That was under the Khaleesi? Her number one unsullied.
Oh shit!
Dude?
I'm thinking of fucking Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's
of
where
too.
I fucked up.
No, I'm black, guys. I went for the black.
Wait a minute.
I'm
What,
sorry, Mikey? I don't see color.
Of course not. I don't know what you do at a stoplight, but
he just guesses and prays.
just they're all green as far as he's
Good luck, everybody else.
Heads up, here I come.
Yeah, one of them means go.
Where did you guys? Who's the Shadow Corporation funding the show?
I mean, if I knew we were gonna do a second opening, I would have done Hawkins Lab now instead of before.
Yep, but you didn't know that. Too late.
Yeah, so
the Umbrella
thanks for making
Corporation.
me look like a fucking idiot, Mikey.
In your face, I got you in your face. Gotcha.
For this one, I'm gonna go with Cobra Kai International.
The Umbrella Corporation.
Long-time contributor on our Patreon, the Umbrella Corp.
For those who need cut-rate pharmaceuticals, please look into Umbrella Corp.
Nuke Cola.
Ooh, good one.
I'm sorry, I meant AstraZeneca.
Same thing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dig on America. I am Mikey Famine, Dutch, Haas, and Anna today.
Is that why you got all those like colorful shadows around you? You're like four people.
My after image.
This is Mikey has absorbed the souls of every member of this podcast.
That's not my fault. Probably.
We think.
You have no evidence to the contrary.
The souls.
I can't say that this was a planned coup or not.
Hey,
I don't like to spread that kind of misinformation.
Hey, all I can say is civilizations rise, civilizations fall.
And sometimes, I get to be here now.
Sometimes they have help.
So it benefits me that every one of them is gone.
I mean, I think we should we should definitely get Haas back, and we could probably get Anna back. And I think we're good. I think we're good after that.
Who's that other guy? I don't think we need him.
Hold on. Oh God.
Oh, douche.
My tongue.
Deutsch. No, douche.
Dwetch.
Dwetch. Yeah, I think it was Dwetch.
Yeah. Jason Dwetch. That's the guy.
They are all either coming later or sick or traveling. It's just little old me, but I brought my friends with me. I got Matt Delhauer here with us. Hello, Matt.
Hello, my babies.
And also the one guy that keeps getting left out of all the promotional artwork for this damn network.
I know.
He is the backbone of this damn. He puts this whole show on his back.
I've carried this show on my shoulders.
He's like got 40 kills in Halo, and we're all just running around falling off the map. He is our Master Chief. It is the cheese connoisseur of crime, Tim Bristol. Hello, Tim.
Hi.
Well, we don't have a guest, so I guess we're gonna have to.
Oh, and
I don't know.
Is there a dig? Don't tell me there's a dig.
No.
Good.
Nope.
Thank God.
No dig today. No.
Thank
dig.
God.
Instead of a dig, we're gonna have Matt. We're gonna talk with Matt instead of a dig. Well, I'll just phrase it that way. I'm pretty sure Large and Gruesome will be here later, and then we'll talk about what's going on with the freight rail strike. Yeah, I just
boring.
Yeah, it sounds nothing more exciting than
boo.
Nothing more exciting than freight rail unions. Let me tell you.
Yo,
I'm sorry. Trains? Yeah. Really?
Have you heard of them?
Okay.
Trains, how do they work?
Little something called the airplane people, if we want to dig into America.
The trains come in, the trains come out. Nobody knows how it works.
It's just magic, really.
It's just magic.
Whoa, there goes your train.
We're going to talk about rail unions. What is this, the 1920s?
Woo, woo.
I remember when our good buddy Thomas
we laid down the golden spike to unify both coasts, and then trains were obsolete.
Hey, what are you going to do? Talk about the Trans-Pacific Rail?
No, that little thing. They're still using that?
They're using that intercontinental thing I got going on there?
I saw a tweet about a week ago that someone had put up that was for like the Amtrak. I want to say it was called like the Stargazer line that they have or something like that.
That
where
didn't
it's like,
go well.
The concept is like, oh, the windows are like wide. They go all up and over like the side of it. And like a bunch of the seats all face sideways because it's like the coast to coast train or whatever. So you can like, oh, sit there and witness the glory that is like the American, countryside. Yeah. And all I thought to myself was, dude, I can't sit in a normal chair regularly. You put me in a seat that's facing the window. Whoa. I'm going to wind up sitting sideways in this thing, facing the front of the train anyway. And I just paid a shit ton of money for nothing.
I'm just saying, once you're in the train for more than like 30 minutes, you kind of lose all sense of direction and you just kind of vibrate.
Yeah,
you just kind of vibrate back and forth. You can't really tell you're moving forward or backwards. You just
like being. It feels like it's the same thing as being in a long-term flight in a plane, where it's like, do you expect me to spend 6 hours of my time staring out the window just at what we're passing?
I always bring my easel and my palette, and I paint the landscape as we travel, and then I sell them on Etsy
at an exorbitant amount
for so much more money than my ticket.
I am very rich.
I get all the free views of the countryside for this pesky little ticket.
Wait, you guys pay tickets to go on trains? I own my own train.
You know what? That's what Bezos. You want to flex? Get a personal train.
Yeah.
It'll take you forever to get everywhere, but the people will know when you arrive because you got steam coming out.
The thing that I remember as being honestly felt like it was the most like impressive thing about being president back in the 1800s was the idea that the president had their own train.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was like, the presidential train is now heading down this track. So all y'all better fucking recognize.
Chugga one.
Like people come pouring out of their town to go and hang out by the railroad because they might see Lincoln go by in the presidential train.
You gotta roll that D20 to figure out which side he's gonna be waving on.
Exactly.
Because you're gonna be fucked because you're not looking.
All right, so which way's he coming from? I think it's that way. Yeah. Oh, damn it.
Well, no. Like if he's on one side, like he has to wave
Oh
at
yeah,
everybody from
he's
one
waving out
side
the
of
left,
the
and you're on the right.
Yeah, like you got
All
your
you
little
see-
lawn chairs out there and a cooler. You're like, all right, where's
All
this
you see is the one Secret Service guy who's out on the caboose, just being like, "Don't get close."
He's just sitting there with a wrist rocket, ready for somebody to do something stupid.
I want whoever becomes the next president to be like, no, fuck Air Force One. Bring back the presidential train.
I want Chugga Chugga 1 finished by my first 100 days.
You get me the rail rocket.
Yeah, and it should be a Japanese bullet train because I mean, if the president needs to get out of a fucking dangerous situation,
It better be
bullet-
at 300 miles an hour.
yeah, he can get the fuck out of Dodge. Like you could be
But
in
also-
a different area code.
Also, I want me a president who's badass enough that if a group of robbers decide they're going to jump on the presidential train, he's taking those bitches out one by one at fisticuffs.
Get off my train.
Exactly.
he just Indiana Jones is the whole fucking brigade of them.
It's like, you know, 5 guys who all have bandanas jumping off of horses, but he just grabs onto the door frame and kicks them off the rails.
There's like a little quartet just like just playing all of our favorite classics. But that was good goofs, guys. Those were some quality goofs.
Those were some fun laugh 'em ups.
Yeah. We really goofed them up that time. If you guys missed the last episode, make sure you go check it out. Jeffrey was amazing. What a great guy. I hope he wins. He sounds like a good Secretary of State. I wouldn't mind him being the Secretary of State of my state.
I would not only get a beer with him, but I'd also be like, I also want you to tell me about smart things that you would do to help out the state that I live in, because you are an intelligent man who seems to have a plan ahead of yourself.
I would have the beer with him, but I would try to trick him into paying for it.
I would co-author a paper with him.
Nice.
I just
that's
pat my wallet, pat my pot.
Mikey, what it is, what you do is you're like, oh yeah, this was a great time out. Hey, I'm gonna go hit the bathroom real quick, and then you just leave.
Just he just sees me sprinting past the window, the big pane windows.
Is that Mikey getting into his car? I thought he said he had to use the bathroom.
Go. Then it won't start.
Yeah. God damn.
Come on. Oh, come on, be my baby tonight.
God damn, solenoid.
Hey, if he wins, North Dakota's going on the list.
Hell yeah.
North Dakota's going on the list of states.
They just made the list. Well, almost.
Yeah.
They got time.
If we can find employment that's comparable, I could use some of that fucking fresh air he's talking about. You guys can hear my congestion.
I mean, I'll tell you, man, I appreciate the concept of fresh air, but that negative 25 degrees Fahrenheit, that's
that's not the greatest.
That's not calling to me, baby.
We already have that in Chicago. I mean,
no, I know you guys suffer that shit from Great Lakes problems.
It's the homie. Everybody, welcome to the state. Ladies, get your singles ready. It is Big Haas, aka Verbal Ken.
Shake it, baby.
Big Haas, what?
In my best Cam Newton, I'm back.
I want to know, Big Haas. What is your either walkout song if you're like a baseball player, or stripper song if you're like
this? A stripper, I guess.
Okay,
it's not your first night. This is your first big night. Like if you're already
taking the main stage.
What is the song that is like, now I will cement my image into their brains?
Here's the thing. Y'all not going to know this song, but it's cold as hell. It's by Jermaine Dupri. It's called Superfly.
I remember that song. How you going to just tell me I don't know about Jermaine Dupri?
Mikey, that was absolutely directed at the 2 white men that are in this chat.
I apologize. Yep. You're right. You're correct.
Damn it. Hold on just a second, guys.
All right.
I'm going to see if this will reach. But I got to limp over.
Oh God. Haas, please don't tear something extra on screen. I don't know if I can deal with that.
I had to get my cutter.
Back in my day, you just bit it.
Nah, man, I'm a little more sophisticated than that.
Haas, I need you to remind me, which Jermaine Dupri song was this?
It's called Superfly.
Superfly. Okay. I'm on right now.
I think it's spelled SUPAFLY.
Got it.
Haas, I have a separate question.
There it is. Okay.
Yes.
What would be your entrance theme if you were a wrestler? What would be your entrance theme?
Oh,
Same song.
No.
I don't know. I'm listening to it now. This would be a pretty solid wrestling entrance.
It would.
This would definitely get some people going.
Get them butts
I
moving.
would go, although he just got arrested for sexual assault again.
Oh no.
He said again. Ladies and gentlemen, he said again.
Oh.
So I am in no way, by saying that this would be my wrestling song, endorsing his behavior. But here I go by Mystical.
Damn, Mystical, you can't never stay out of trouble, man. Damn, Mystical.
Hey, I did the Will Smith when I saw the headline. I was like, oh, damn.
Damn.
What are you doing, Will? I'm like, Mystical, what you doing? Again?
He just got out.
You're supposed to be laying low.
I remember when the Hot Boys came out and it was like, oh, the Hot Boys, Cash Money, they're going to be real big. And oh, look, here's the guy that's making just as much money as them. It's Mystical with Shake It Fast.
The problem is the fact that Haas had to say he did it again. This was not a mistake.
Again.
This is a problem of character now.
Do you remember like bling bling every time I come like that time period? He's been in jail since then.
Yeah.
He just got out like a year ago.
And now he's going back.
There is something fundamentally wrong with you on a mental level that if you get out of jail after that amount of time and the first thing you do is you fucking do it again.
You put out more music and we were like, oh shit, we're about to get mature, Mystical. Okay, no good.
He grew up. He learned a lesson. He had another booty shaking song, but I think he was trying to feel out the new like boom bap weirdo microwave bass climate that we're in. He didn't last 2 years out the joint before he went back in there. Come on.
Yeah, he just
got arrested. You know what?
Got arrested again.
Mikey, damn. I feel like maybe he didn't want to play the game as it is now.
I'm just saying. My man's is by Mystical. You and Shine ain't gonna never see the light of day. Apparently, y'all just don't want to be out of jail.
Shine too, yeah.
Y'all just don't want to be out of jail ever.
Hey, what was the dude's name in Shawshank Redemption that got out and hung himself?
Fuck. This is such a Matt Delhauer question, and I'm gonna blank on it.
It's okay. I'll vamp while you Google.
Okay.
It was either. It was either Shawshank or Redemption. One of those two guys.
I think it was hey, Haas, you remember Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence?
Yeah.
Everybody, if you haven't seen Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy, check it out. It is a very
underrated movie.
It sounds bad when I say this. It's a very funny prison movie.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, was it Haas? Was it Brooks?
It was Brooks. No, wait, the old dude. The old guy.
Yeah,
so
the old guy who was like the Birdman of the prison. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But like
that's a good fucking movie. I gotta rewatch that.
Oh yeah. That's one of the ones that whenever you're flicking through the channels and wherever it is when you come upon it, you just watch.
You immediately start watching. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because here's the thing, is that no matter where you come in that movie, within 5 minutes, there's just like this. Oh, this scene's coming up.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying? Oh shit!
Hey guys, what's this? Oh, it's Shawshank Redemption. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! This is the scene where he gets raped in the shower.
Yeah.
Ooh, our word turns to surface.
This is the scene where he tried to fight the good fight.
Yes.
That is also the movie that I used specifically when it came to trying to see if I'm not a thing I would ever try and do professionally, but for fun, figure out a Morgan Freeman impression.
Oh,
Morgan
man.
Freeman.
Because you not only the thing that movie taught me with him doing the voiceover is you have to be a bit more nasally than people realize.
It's
Yeah.
way at the top.
Yeah,
It's
you gotta
way
get
up.
all the way up into here.
But then
And
your larynx is as low as you can get
yeah,
it.
it's this weird fact where it's like you got to drop down into the throat, but you also have to get it up, and it is
gotta
very
pinch.
difficult.
Pinch and drop.
Pause.
The old pinch.
The old
and
pinch.
dra-
You gotta get it here, and then you gotta cut that.
Let's pause this whole thing.
Tons of mice don't clip it. No.
This mug said we gotta drop into the throat. I'm like, wait a minute.
You gotta go way deep into. You gotta get back there.
Did I stutter? Or like Biscuit from Life, which is what I was gonna say.
You gonna eat your biscuits?
Okay.
Cornbread. Oh my god! Remember we had that clip on Dutch's soundboard.
Yeah.
Fuck around
You
me. It's gonna
you
be
gonna eat
consequences
your-
to repercussions. He said, "Part 2 of my killing spree gonna start up here on your ass."
Oh my god, such
I
a
gotta-
good movie.
If we can get our Patreon looking right, I would like for us to have movie night once a month with our patrons, and I want us to watch like we're gonna watch old, like nothing after like 2001. Like we're
Get
gonna
that-
watch
I was
old
gonna say,
movies.
Get that shit set up on Discord because you can do a group watch for stuff like that.
We're gonna watch Don't Be a Menace to Society while drinking your juice in the hood.
We could do all that.
Message.
We could.
God
do
damn, that movie's so funny. He's like, should I wear these bunny slippers with this Tech 9?
Or the high tops with my 9mm.
So, speaking of shows, we're here
Yeah.
to talk about one show in particular. We're going to give him the main stage. We're going to give him the main stage.
The
All
worst
right.
part about this, Mikey, was I was going to ask you to vamp for 5 seconds because I got to fucking piss, man.
Just kidding. I want everybody to get out your D20s.
There you go.
It's time.
I have-
It's time to roll for initiative.
All right, hold on. I got dice in here.
Hey, I got a D9.5, but I don't got no D.
Stop it.
I got a fancy metal one.
Yeah, mine's metal too.
Oh, okay.
But I will be getting new dice from somebody soon. Maybe for our 100th episode of Not One Heroes. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, you got to put an order in with him first.
I know. But we always just play video games instead of actually talking about things that are
I know.
beneficial for us.
You got to make me an offer I can't refuse.
Big Haas, what's your take on Stranger Things?
I rolled a 4.
I haven't gotten to
Love
it
it.
yet because a certain thing happened to me.
You haven't seen Stranger Things?
I've never watched an episode.
Yay,
What
me
ca-
and Haas are
that's-
together.
Oh my
High
god,
five.
neither one of you have seen Stranger Things?
I saw
guess-
one episode.
Yeah.
I thought you had seen it already.
I remember I said I was gonna start watching, and then I had a little accident. So I've kind of been out of the loop.
I saw the first episode, and then my wife watched it without me.
Ain't that a bitch?
And
Yo, you got her for life now, right? Like you can do
Yeah.
whatever you want in the marriage forever because she watched the show without you. That is the most unforgivable sin, and she
Oh
did it.
man,
You got a couple of you can cheat, fucking run up all the credit card debt, fucking burn
What
half
did
the house
I
down.
watched-
Like,
I
yeah,
forget-
but you
I-
watch fucking Stranger Things without me.
I forget
then
what
you-
I watched
it-
without Sam. And she was like, "Oh, I would have watched that with you," and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
well, see, she likes to wait until something is like the whole season's out.
No,
And then she'll binge the whole thing.
Yeah, and then I'm
No.
like, but I want to like I did that with the boys. Like she wanted to wait until the whole thing was done. I was like, fine, you do that. I'll watch it when it comes out, and
And
then
then I'll
we can
watch it again with
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Nah."
so
All right, Mikey, I caught the little bit before I ran away. That's a 16, my boy.
Okay, fine. Because Matt rolled the highest initiative, I guess Matt can talk about what the topic is today.
Oh no.
And rolling for initiative, all of you non-D&D nerds. So think of a role-playing game, like a video game, like Pokemon or
Pokemon.
Final Fantasy, just or any turn checkers. Even you can even take checkers. So in checkers, white goes first or red goes first, right? Or in chess, white goes first.
Racist.
That's man, ain't that about a bitch? We gotta fucking sit there as a black chess champion, letting the white man take over. No, Dr. Umar would be very upset if he heard that white goes first in chess.
He'd be like this.
He's too busy drinking his own urine at this point, I'm sure, because it's got some homeopathic qualities.
Well, see what people don't realize is white goes first in chess, followed by
but Dr. Umar like right. But you roll for initiative. You roll for initiative to see. I just rolled a natural one. All right, I'm putting that away. You roll to see whether you go first or the monsters go first. If there's a four of us,
Monstars, the Space Jam.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my God, a Monstars campaign with nothing but like rogues.
That'd be cool.
With like rogues and a couple of barbarians.
I was into D&D. I was into D&D for like 2 weeks, and then my mom found out, and my evangelist grandmother told my mother that it was satanic, so I couldn't play D&D.
He's a Satanist. He plays D&D.
Mikey, I'm going to throw you this concept real quick.
I'm listening.
D&D magical item, Michael Jordan's special stuff.
The secret stuff.
The secret
or special stuff. Is it special?
Whichever it was. I don't remember.
Special secret stuff.
This was 97. I don't remember.
I've had a lot of weed and alcohol since then, so hard to get the fuzzy wuzzies.
Where even am I?
What year is it?
What am I doing here?
But we're here to talk about the show that rocked the nation with its progressive D&D content, right, Matt? We're talking about
the show that made D&D important in America again for the first time.
Yes, make D&D great again.
Stranger Things.
Nat One Heroes on Twitch and YouTube.
Follow on Twitch and YouTube.
Do that because if you guys want to see what D&D like looks like in the modern day, it is a meeting like it's a meeting like this, and there's usually like a digital board that everybody can play on. You can roll digital dice or physical dice, but the tradition lives on even though COVID happened. Actually, COVID super spiked.
COVID blew D&D up because they were like, you realize you guys could play online. Everyone went, you can
what?
You can do what now?
I'm sorry. It sounded like you just said I could play at my house.
I don't have to be near people.
I won't get COVID, and I can still kill dragons.
Can I wear my gauntlets?
Absolutely.
I'm not allowed to leave my house for anything, but I can go for treasure in a deep dungeon guarded by goblins.
I can be a mage.
Goddamn right you can, Haas.
Absolutely.
Best mage I know.
The Black Mage of the North. Ice magic. What kind of magic would you do, Haas? Let's before we get into all of the Stranger Things thing, I think D&D is kind of like the backbone of that show, and that's why I love it.
It is a very important part of it.
And so that's why I'm being so overly nerdy with this. Haas, what character do you think you would want to be if we like started up a campaign like right now? Like what kind of, like you could be a fighter or a mage, or I'm a druid, obviously, because I'm weird.
That's how you know it's good when I'm doing this to the bottle.
You're rubbing on your gums? Like what? Wait, what's in that bottle?
All right, so
what's in that bottle cap?
One of my clients' dads works at a liquor distributor, and this is a whiskey that hasn't hit the shelves yet.
Oh, you're just gonna flex before you answer. Okay, go ahead and answer, man. Quit flexing on me, dog.
Let's see.
What kind of character do you want to be? Like a wizard, sorcerer, Goliath?
I would. What? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'd put Haas as like maybe like fighter, paladin.
I gotta have some magical powers though, because I'm
Paladin.
I'm more than meets the eye.
Or
See, like,
cleric.
I would just I would pound you, but then I could throw some fire magic at your ass too.
A ranger.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with this on a whim.
Hit it.
Haas just decided he wanted to break out and show everybody this bottle of whiskey he has that nobody else can even buy right now. You have to be jealous of what it is that Haas has in his life. Haas is a fucking bard.
Haas could be a bard.
Ooh.
Because
could be a bard.
B-A-R-D?
B-A-R-D. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be running around playing a lute and singing songs to people. That just means that you use the magic of your charisma to make people want to be around you and want to live the life you have.
I'm an enchanter.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's all enchantment magic. You
This-
make sure people look at you, they want to know you, they want to be like you. And if things get rough,
Much like
if things get rough, depending on how you spec yourself out, you can kick their ass.
Here we go. Yeah, that would be good. A bard would be good. A bard
I
would
think
be
you're.
good. Because
about
just today,
Uh-huh.
I was training, and it was a baseball night for training. There were a bunch of softball players there, and they were like, "Coach Asai, Coach Asai, Coach Asai." I'm like, "Oh my God, you're so popular with all these people." And I'm like,
What can I say?
Nice guy.
People
I'm a nice guy.
want a piece of the Haas, baby.
People
You-
like me.
You know what? Because it's strange. Because if you like think of like how builds are typically done, I think Haas obviously has a high strength.
Yep.
He's got a high con.
Yep.
And he's got high charisma.
Everything about Haas is built on the idea of basically being a mountain dwarf bard. He
Yeah.
is stocky, thick, capable of taking care of himself,
Two
but
steps.
damned if he is not going to make you look at him.
That's right. And much like
What a dwarf.
much like the women in my life, they're like, I don't know what it is about him, but I like him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because nobody looks at me and goes, "Ooh, he's so hot, I've got to have him." But you hang around me long enough,
Gotta have a slice.
Hell yeah.
Gotta have a slice.
how did
Cut
this
me
happen?
a piece of that. Hashtag piece of the Haas.
That's a good
Break
one.
me off a piece of that. Haas sound humidor. I don't know.
Thank you, tons of
didn't-
mice.
Tons of Mice is the best. Tim, what character would you be? Do you think?
What character would I personally be?
I have an answer, but I don't think it's the same as what Tim's gonna say. And Matt, you've got limited experience with them, so I think you should guess too.
Okay.
Okay.
One thing I will say before this goes on. Tim, do you have an open refrigerator behind you? Oh no,
it's
that's
the
a
side.
background. That's a background. Oh my god. I sat here for a while being like, dude, you're gonna burn out the fucking motor of that. What are you doing?
It's actually Wayne Maker 2.0's kitchen. We screenshot his kitchen open with his refrigerator door open.
Oh, that's funny as fuck. All right,
It's
sorry,
the
Tim. I didn't mean to step in on that.
So
A brass thing.
Delhauer was like, "Is your refrigerator running?"
No, it is.
Baby,
It
all your shit's gonna spoil.
And your house is going to actually get hotter because your fan and your compressor are going to be running nonstop to keep your refrigerator cold. So, what do you think, Tim? What would you be?
if I was thinking like base classes, probably. Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna go with rogue. A rouge.
Incorrect.
Oh.
You are the most paladin that ever paladined a paladin.
Paladin.
Nah, I'm not lawful good.
Tim, you've never
You don't gotta be,
cheated
baby.
You have never cheated anything in your entire life.
I mean, that's not entirely true.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Tell us your lies then, Tim. No. So I trapped him.
no, not
I think you're- I
paladin.
think- I
but
think
He's
you're
on
a paladin.
record.
Cleric.
Get him.
I think cleric, But a
Definitely a
cleric of
cleric.
one of the lawful neutral gods, but I don't have to be lawful neutral. I can be within one step of their alignment.
Because I'd see you in full plate
Man,
with
that
a
shit is
sword
heavy.
and but who else to
Yeah,
carry
I
the
could
team?
I could see Tim shouldering a big ass warhammer.
Hammer,
I
yes.
could do that.
Hammer and almost hammer and shield.
I can do sword and shield and spear and shield.
Okay.
Sword.
Okay. Spear and shield feels very paladin to me. Sword, I could say cleric. Hammer, I'll say cleric.
Perhaps because he has the food truck, he could be a cavalier.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Perhaps you fight on a mount.
On a
I think
mount.
Tim rides. I think Tim is a knight and he rides on a steed.
I think Tim rides bareback.
Oh God. Pause.
One-
And he also has a
phrase
horse.
That's one fertilized horse.
I'm an idiot, so I'm some sort of, I don't know. I play a druid on Net One Heroes.
On TV?
I'm a yes, I play one on TV. I'm a tiefling druid.
Sexy.
That's my MO.
Mikey, I'm putting you at wizard, baby.
I could see wizard.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like sorcerer.
A little bit
Ooh,
more,
you don't
a
even
little more
earn what you
evil.
have. It's just inherent. Damn.
I was born like this, y'all.
You just you
I
just
can't
naturally-
turn it off.
I just am magic.
I just
You don't
be
need
magic.
spell books. What the fuck are spell books?
What's
Oh,
the
you
difference
nerds have to
between-
read.
No, don't read. Just put your hand out and make the fire come out. Duh. Get
Idiot.
fire out of your hands. You're stupid.
You just got fire.
Fire, go. Up and away, web. The best part of that movie. Matt, what say you for you?
Swashbuckler rogue, baby. You know me.
Absolutely. I 100, 1,000, 1,000,000% agree with that. You are a swashbuckling son of a gun.
Yar.
If there ever was a buckle
If there ever was a buckle that wasn't swashed, it didn't meet me.
they held that one away from Delhauer. That's for damn sure.
No, hide it. Don't let him see it. Don't let him see it.
I'm gonna just tuck mine in until Delhauer leave, like Debo.
Got on my drink.
What you got? What you got out
Nothing, man.
my tankard, homie?
Right. Nothing. Yo, you got something.
Pat.
My grandmama gave me them gauntlets. He gonna cry in the carriage.
He got a cart that's pulled by a donkey that don't work all the time.
He gonna cry in the carriage.
He's just bleeding his little donkey cart.
I want to go home now.
Right. Oh shit. But all this is great fun, but all of that is the backdrop for what we're going to actually talk about today. There is no dig. We're talking about
Thank God.
Praise God. Praise God.
Stranger Things. I think I had some Stranger Things sounding tracks that I made that I'm going to play in the background. Delhauer, take it away.
So there's a question I have to ask everyone who's a part of this this call right now. Something that I feel like only I could ask as being the no longer token white man that is on the call.
You're welcome.
Is Stranger Things racist enough? Hold on. Wait, let me put that better. How racist is Stranger Things?
They're not going to be able to answer, but I will answer for my clients.
Okay.
I think Tim would say moderately racist.
Okay.
I think
probably.
I think Haas would say not very racist.
Okay.
I would agree with Haas.
So I'm going to present to all of you a few arguments that have been made that Stranger Things apparently is quite the racist show.
Speaking of racist, real quick, this just came out. How many Republicans on Twitter have you seen crying their eyes out about the Black Little Mermaid?
Oh my God. So the thing that I find really funny about bringing up this topic is because I do want to tie into the fact of how many different fantasy-based TV shows or movies in the past 2 months, I want to say, have come under fire for having just black people exist in them.
That hobbit's got black skin.
Black, like my girl said on the Boondocks, black people. The destruction of black people.
Now, I've done a lot of research into the topics of these shows that have been under fire recently. And
why are blacks so black?
I have found something very interesting that ties the Little Mermaid, the Rings of Power from Lord of the Rings, as well as House of Dragons and Game of Thrones as a whole together. And you guys are going to be really surprised to hear what the connecting factor of all these things are. They're not real.
You mean they're fiction?
What?
It turns out that none of these take place
There is no House Targaryen
in a real world.
House Valerian is not real?
No.
And it turns out that you can have black members of any race, not only in a fictional world, but in the world that exists.
Stop.
What the fuck are you talking about? We are not supposed to be in those worlds. Those worlds are colorless only spaces.
Now, it turns out that apparently when J.R.R. Tolkien created Middle-earth, he did so based on England in the time of World War I and World War II. But you know what's a funny thing about England? There's black people there.
You know there's not. That's a lie.
Here.
I swear to God.
No.
The only black person I know there is Wayne Maker. He got teleported there from the USS Enterprise.
He's already fainted from sheer terror at the stuff that you're saying right now.
I am done spreading the lies. I will only tell the truth.
Wait, so there's black people in the UK, and he goes, waves. Hi, here I am.
I love that his picture is him wearing a Muse sweatshirt.
Yeah.
In case you didn't realize that he was based in the UK.
He loves it when you call it the Mused.
The Muse.
The Muse?
Have any of you heard the latest album from The Muse?
I thought it was the Muse.
Those are way too many accent marks, Haas. We can't allow that.
Are you saying I put the emphasis on the wrong syllables? Oh, I'm sorry.
Haas, you're spicing up your language a little too much. And you know what? As a white man, I don't appreciate it.
Sometimes you got to church it up a little bit.
I need you to bland that out because otherwise I won't eat it.
It's spicy like Sprite.
Oh, boy. So, back to the topic at hand, I guess. Sure. Apparently, I'm in charge because Haas, or not Haas. Why did I say Haas? Dutch. Because Dutch decided I was supposed to fill in for him, and I think Dutch assumes he's in charge of this show.
That's the caucasity. That's the caucasity of it all.
Exactly. He said, "Hey, I can't make it. Can you fill in as another white man and run the show for me?" And I went, "Can I what?"
Like, you can't don't let the blacks run the show.
Can you bring a topic for everyone to discuss because apparently it's my episode?
Can you bring up something non-darky related, like Stranger Things?
We're not talk about Stranger Things. That doesn't have any racial connotation.
We won't talk about anything that's happening in the NBA right now either.
I don't know sports, so I can't even speak to that on a common level.
Hold on. Let's Haas. We don't do sports no more, but you get 2 minutes. Hit it.
Do it.
So
and he's chewing, so I got him.
The owner of the Suns, the Phoenix Suns.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
I forgot that was today.
So he likes to say the N-word a lot. And he was
no.
Yeah.
Yo. Wayne Maker says, for all you audio listeners, you're filling in for Dutch. Them some tiny shoes to fill.
They hurt.
And then the owner of the Suns also likes to speak disparagingly and sexually to women in his employ and create atmospheres so toxic. And so what did the NBA decide to do after their investigation showed that he definitely said the N-word a bunch, and he definitely was being misogynistic and creating a toxic work environment?
Haas, can I make a guess?
Go ahead.
Do we have
Okay.
predictions from the Caucasian? Wait a minute.
So
Hold
my-
on. Y'all
my
on top of us. Hold on. Get off the top of me.
Sorry, I'm so
Just
sorry.
realized.
Pause.
I'm so sorry.
hell?
Everyone knows I'm a power bottom anyway.
Please excuse my white privilege.
What the fuck is a power bottom?
Haas, I got so much to teach you, baby.
I'm gonna send you a couple of Haas, I'm gonna send you a couple of links. You're
Power
gonna
bottom? Wait,
Haas,
you're down there,
Haas.
but you got a cape on? What the fuck?
Haas, I'm gonna send you a couple of links, but I'm gonna need you to open them in an incognito tab.
He wears gloves with spikes on them while he's on bottom.
Yeah, fuck me, daddy.
Right? Yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass. Dump me harder, bitch.
You fuck like a bitch.
You fuck like a bitch. I can barely feel your balls.
Anyway, you introduced him to power bottoms. This is your fault, Delhauer. You ruined him.
I'm so proud of that.
Woo. Okay, so my feeling is
That
this.
is going in my insult. That's going in my insult thing.
It's not an insult.
It's not an insult.
It's
Oh my
just-
god.
It's just a. It's
Okay,
your
send me the
role
info.
and
Send me
things.
the info. I'm
Yeah,
curious.
that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so the
Patreon
logical
only.
human being in me says that the way that this should go is that from discovering that these are true facts, he should have been told you are no longer allowed to be the owner and CEO of this team. Being the fact that this is a white man owning a sports team, I'm going to go ahead and say they made him commissioner of the league.
No.
Promoted.
Now he's worth between
Promoted.
he's worth between $800 and $850 million.
That's it.
Got it.
Brokey.
That's he's broke.
It's the Suns.
And I mean,
broke. We ain't got it.
so what did the NBA do? They brought the hammer down and fined him $10 million and suspended him for a year.
Let that be a lesson to him. Take a year
I-
off
Take a year off from the owners' meetings.
and give
I
us a
hope
$20.
he-
And
And
give
then
us a
give
$20
us-
bill.
Give us 1% of your net worth.
I hope he learned his lesson.
But he's still going to be the owner.
Yeah.
So and after a year, so I'm just like that's looking real NFL-ish.
Oh,
Don't worry, y'all. We took care of it.
Hey, I just want to let you know, like his 2023 N bombs are gonna be fucking lit.
Hey,
He's gonna have them bitches. He's gonna have them bitches.
He's
stored
gonna
up
have
for a
them.
whole 12
I was
months.
gonna say
Yeah.
he's building up his power until he
He's
gets
like,
to come
oh,
back.
If I get caught doing this again, they might only fine me $20 million. So
Look,
what's
guys,
the-
I was away for a whole year, so I got to make up for that. So you listen here.
right,
He just starts calling everybody colored and boy.
yeah, and talking to the ladies any old kind of way. Love the way the buttons on your
broads.
blouse are straining against your boobs or something like that. Some bullshit. Yeah, I'm
going to tell you
If
right
you-
now,
if-
Haas.
if you are doing that and they know you're doing that, do they think that a $10 million fine and a year suspension is going to change your makeup and your mindset?
So
No.
here's the thing that I brought up earlier, Haas, when we were talking to Jeffrey about politics.
Mm-hmm.
The problem stems from having people who have so much money in charge that they don't actually understand the value of money, that they're like, yeah, that's a pretty high number, right? That'll be fine. But you're like, yeah, but compared to what he has, it's bullshit.
Right.
Anything that you do where the consequence is that you have to pay money is only a consequence to people who don't fucking have money.
Right. Right.
Oh yeah. Well, guess what? When he goes to gas up his yacht, is gonna
Yeah.
be short $1 refill for his yacht. So there, suck
So
on
yeah,
that.
he'll have
I'd
to
like
wait.
to rescind my
He'll-
statement based on the latest information
He'll
presented
have
by
to
Mikey.
wait until the next quarterly dividend and profits report.
Which is conveniently the same day. But he would have had more if we didn't really nail him to the cross. Pause? Probably.
Pause?
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sadder than I was before.
Yeah, so between that and the whole Little Mermaid thing, you know,
I saw a tweet about the Little Mermaid thing. I think it was probably the funniest fucking thing I saw in my life. Somebody made a comment where they're like, well, what people don't realize is in the original Little Mermaid, her lower half was half cod, but in the new one, they're making her half mahi-mahi, which just goes to show that Disney is really anti-whitefish.
yeah.
That's good. I like that. That's so good.
Stranger Things, y'all.
Yes, but Stranger Things.
Yes.
Sorry. We're
Back to
really
Stranger
excited.
Things.
What do you apologize to me for? I'm on your fucking show.
But it's
Oh,
it's
really
your episode.
Oh, I forgot.
You're the guest.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm the head honcho, apparently.
Dutch deemed
Yeah.
it so, and
I'm
He
topping Mikey now, so
he manifests destiny you right up to the top.
I would call it nepotism, but we're not actually related.
You probably are. You just don't know it yet.
Y'all think we're just related because we're white.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that was not okay.
Yes, I do. You nailed it.
Thank you. So the topic that I want to bring up, let me fetch my notebook here because I had to do a little bit of research to have some topics to bring up about it. So, gang, over the past 6 years that the show,
Morgan.
oh, hello.
That's my girlfriend.
Oh,
She is.
Don't
the
tell your
sweetest
wife.
little girl. She knows. She met her.
all right.
She's cool with it.
Hey, look, man, if there's communication and consent, ain't no problems.
Right. She knows. She loves
E
Morgan too.
N-
Morgan picked me.
M.
She knew. Trying to find this music I had that was Stranger Things. Ask. I'll make something right now.
Here you go.
Uh-oh. Go DJ. Yo, that's my DJ.
Go ahead, Del.
Continue talking, Del, while he makes the music.
I'll do that. So
the
over the
music
past 6 years or so that Stranger Things has existed, there has been at least one black character on the show. At this point,
Wow.
it has expanded to I think 5.
Whoa!
We're getting pretty progressive out here, gang. All right. I don't want anyone to think that we're not making strides.
Is the black person who started the series still alive?
Yes. We made it, baby. We made it to all 3 seasons, baby.
4 seasons, Mikey. 4 seasons. 4 seasons. Don't steal one from yourself.
Sorry.
Hey, go ahead, brother.
One more off the backboard. 4. There you go.
So, yes, the character of Lucas Sinclair, the black friend of the main group in the first season, he is still alive. He is still involved in the show. But the problem that we run into,
He ain't got no powers.
well, no, he does not have any powers. The problem that we run into when it comes to Lucas Sinclair is that as time has gone on throughout the show, it has become apparent that he has become more of a, I don't want to say side character. He's still part of the main friend group, but he has absolutely not been nearly as fleshed out as any of the other characters that we deal with in the show.
I think that's realistic, and I think that's important.
And so the two subjects that I want to kind of touch on when we're talking about this, when it comes to the race politics of Stranger Things, I'm gonna break out some professional wrestling terminology. Is going to be that which is kayfabe or takes place within the story, versus that which is non-kayfabe, which is the stuff that happens outside in like the creation of the show.
I got a show for you, Delhauer. We'll talk after this.
Okay. So on the kayfabe side, the thing that we want to try and the thing that we want to try and touch on is the aspect of race relations for these characters who are living in a Midwestern town in the mid-80s of America. Versus the non-kayfabe is the idea of how the show approaches the use of Black characters and Black actors in the storytelling of its show. And that comes from the fact that Stranger Things is a show that is very easily recognizable, a show that was created by and mostly run by white people.
Bum, bum, bum.
So, some of the things that we deal with when it comes to, I guess, we'll touch on the in storyline aspects of race relations in the show initially, because I feel like it's a little bit of a more linear story to go through.
So can you tell everybody, because I literally had to Google this, and then as soon as I Googled it, it showed up in the very next episode. What state is Stranger Things? What state does it take place in?
So Stranger Things takes place in the fictional town of Hawkins, Indiana.
I knew it was Indiana.
And
that explains everything.
There you go. over the course of the show, for the 4 seasons that exist, it takes place between 1983 and 1986.
Good years. I remember them well.
I don't. I was born in 89.
I was born in 87. I was bluffing.
So in the show, what we come to recognize.
Don't answer, Big Haas. Don't answer.
Wait. Mikey, you're a year younger than me. Now I feel old.
We've known this.
Get him.
I forget.
Because I told you I was older than you, and I was like, I know I'm older than you.
I love that his response is just to give the finger to the camera.
Whenever somebody says they feel old, I'm just like, because I know that the odds are I'm older than them.
This is the
disqualify
situation.
My feelings.
It's the situation I find myself in, being someone who's in their 30s. When I'm on like Twitter talking with like up and coming voice actors who are like, I can't believe I just turned 23. I feel so old. I'm like, fuck you, fuck yourself, fuck yourself in the face.
Fucking fight you.
Try being 36 and getting out of bed.
Try walking across carpet with socks on and your ankles and knees not crack like someone's shuffling fucking cards.
Try walking down the stairs and slipping and
literally
pops out.
Literally last week, I decided I was going to try and dust my hands off. My entire fucking back seized up. What the fuck is that?
I sneezed and woke up in the ER 14 hours later.
In the first season of Stranger Things,
yes,
we are introduced to the character of Lucas Sinclair, who is literally, I believe, the only Black character we interact with in that entire season.
Yes.
There's Haas showing off what we like to refer to as the Mad Max special.
This is what I had to wear on my leg every day.
Woof.
What's Lucas's last name in the show?
Is Sinclair.
Sinclair, that's right.
Lucas,
popular Black last name in TV shows.
Absolutely. Lucas is one of the 4 main characters who are a group of, I believe at the time they are 11-year-old boys.
Yeah.
A young Black nerd living in their suburban white neighborhood who hangs out with his friends, plays D&D. And as time goes on in the first season, we discover is a little bit more hot-headed than the rest of them.
So here you go, Big Haas. This is the homie. I love how, sorry, everybody, they didn't go get a little light-skinned kid. They got a regular old blackity black kid.
He got the kid and play hot top on the upper left there.
Yep.
So if you notice, Haas, like this is not really spoiling shit, but like these pictures, like this joint and this joint, this is season 1. Like this is how it came in.
Yeah.
Lining was trash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's 11.
The fro was oblong.
Yeah, but that's an 11-year-old.
He's got on and he definitely has on the Zaire clothing line there.
Yeah. I mean, kid, that's what a kid looked like in the 80s back then.
Oh yeah, that's me
every day.
That's me, except
I was
all
gonna
these
say
big old thick ass glasses, and that would be me.
the picture we have here where he's wearing like the camo headband, that is specifically season 1.
Yeah.
Yes. But that's I don't know if you knew this, Matt, but this is a very accurate costuming, like representation of black kids. Like not with like a boombox on their fucking shoulder,
of course,
and chains, like how we normally get cast.
Right.
Stranger Things knocked it out of the fucking. He dressed and talked and acted like a normal black kid would in Indiana in the 80s.
This is a black kid,
corduroy jacket with the shearing collar.
Whoa.
Yeah, this is a black kid who grew up in a middle class neighborhood in a middle America town.
Yeah, and I definitely had a shirt with Japanese or Chinese iconography on it.
The samurai joint.
There it
you gotta
is,
have,
right there.
You gotta have a samurai joint.
I had one. You
gotta have the samurai joint.
Because guess what? You said they're 11. I was born in 72, so if this is 83.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
they based this shit off of Big Haas.
I need my fucking residuals.
There you go.
Yo. He's like, damn, Haas.
Look, bro. Don't take the anger out on the camera. You go after the Duffer Brothers, baby.
Chill. Big Haas, calm down. Don't Hammer, don't kill him. Hammer, don't kill him.
I let the angry black man out.
Now, the biggest issue that a lot of people seem to have with the portrayal of Lucas, his family, and the black community in Hawkins, Indiana, throughout the show, is that while there are instances that hint at there being a concept of racism that he and his family have to face, they seem to be very much underplayed.
But you don't have to play it up all the time, though.
I was going to say, I'll say this. I think the worst instance of it is in the first season. There is a bully that targets the main group of 4 kids that at one point, while dealing with Lucas, calls him midnight to his face.
Ooh. Yep, that is on period as well.
That's what I'm saying.
That is
like
on period as well.
They got
I got called midnight.
And so it's an instance in which
Black
clearly
speck.
the bully that he deals with, is targeting him because of his race. He is hanging out with this group of kids not only because he enjoys the kind of nerdy things that they do together, but it's clear that these 4 boys are all basically outcasts in their group of kids in school. It's the 4 nerdy kids who all like D&D. So why would they not clearly have the black kid that everybody is potentially picking on because of his race as part of their group? He has found people who he connects with, he gets along with. They all enjoy the things they do together.
He found his people.
He found his clan.
That's right.
Hey,
then we move on.
Haas, tell me you ain't had this exact fit, because I know I did.
I didn't have that hat, but I definitely had that tank top.
I definitely had both of these at one point.
That's a Weebolts tank top. That tank top right there you get for 78 cents. Okay.
Yo, they had a whole bunch. They had a whole bunch of dope shit. Like, this is the kind of like that color shit would be like St. Louis Cardinals gear that I could find at the Goodwill.
That's
way off color.
Now, the thing I have to give them credit for is not only is it period accurate, but they also are giving these kids the kind of credit that they would even think to color match the shit that they wear at the age of 12.
Right.
To be like, not only am I wearing this tank top that is this blue color, I chose this hat because the blue in the hat matches this tank top.
Hell yeah. My outfit matches. Absolutely. And matching was very important back then. Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all wear mismatched socks these days with your monstrous asses.
I mostly do that because my ADHD ass is just like, I got socks on. No one's looking at them.
Delhauer, you have all right. Delhauer,
Mikey, I'm white. I don't have taste.
Listen,
yeah,
I'm gonna
all
break.
my socks are the same color.
I'm gonna break your whole brain open with this one. This is a Mikey famine tip for all of you listening at home. Men, find a sock that is your sock. Try a couple out, buy a couple packs, find your sock. Make sure that it's like readily available. Throw away all of your socks. Buy 2 packs of the sock that you like that is in plenty of supply. What will happen is you will never have to sort through socks again because all of your socks are the same.
I want to say that that's exactly what I did.
But sometimes I want a little lower sock. I want a little almost no show.
I said decide. You pick your sock and you die on that sock hill.
I like variety. Look at that bar. Look at that bar. Do you see the variety there? I'm a man who likes variety.
Take the variety and put it into your real, actual talents and interests. But your socks, just get one sock, man. It's just a sock.
Mikey, there has to be an addendum to that. There has to be an addendum to that. Business socks. You gotta have some business socks.
Dress socks aside. We're talking about your standard issue day-to-day sock.
Then I already do that. I bought 3 packs of the same sock, and that's all I wear, unless I'm doing something.
You just wear the same sock. You save hours sorting laundry over the course of your life.
I'll say this much, drawer. Mikey.
Are we fighting?
Number one, no, we're not fighting. We're not fighting at all. Number one, I made a decision 5 years ago that I would never wear white socks again.
Thank you.
Why would anyone wear white socks anymore?
I don't know.
I have a good reason. For my wedding pictures, me and my wife wore white Chuck Taylors. You have to have white ankle socks with those. You can't wear a black sock. It didn't look right.
Oh, you talking about low top Chucks?
Yes.
Okay.
I had to have a white sock.
Now, number one, my statement was going to be, I will never wear low top Chuck Taylors in my life. If it's not a high top, I won't wear it. So that doesn't apply to me.
They're adorable wedding pictures. How dare you?
Depends on how big.
Baby, I got married in patent leather high top Converse sneakers, and then I got divorced. So that's my life.
Should have went low top.
I know. Do you think I don't know that?
It depends.
You think I don't think about that every night?
If you got a size,
I'm not up until ungodly hours.
If you got a size 12 or above, though, low tops look like fucking flippers.
All Chucks look like flippers.
No. You get the high top joints. The high top joints. The high kind of takes away from the long.
I made a choice when I was in high school. I could either wear Chuck Taylors or I could wear those checkered Vans, and I went with the shoe that I knew I was going to wear for the rest of my life.
Ooh. Yeah,
nobody's going to wear checkered shoes for the rest of their life.
No, especially not those low top slip-on Vans.
No.
A small tangent, but you guys are used to that here. Have you seen the price of Vans these days?
Yeah.
I have not. I told you just now I've never worn Vans.
I have a pair. They're expensive.
Have you seen the price of Chuck Taylors these days?
My daughter got some Vans for her birthday, and I was just like, "What you doing?"
What? No, put them back.
She got them from Mimi though. She didn't get them from mom. She got them from grandma.
Well, then that's fine. But yeah, they're $1 million for.
They're expensive
for Chucks. Just regular ass Chuck. They like realistically.
That's like Champion stuff being expensive now. Why? What the fuck? Used to get made fun of.
I got fucking made fun of because I didn't have fucking Adidas or fucking Nike.
I recently just found out a tag team from like professional wrestling that I like are known for having like really expensive shoes that they wear when they go out to the ring.
Are you talking about the Young Bucks?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
They have signature shoes that are going to be available through Champion Sports. And the first thing I thought was
Champion Sports.
I was like, isn't that like the fucking bargain bin shoes?
Yeah, that was the Walmart brand back then.
Yep.
And so I found out they're like, no, they're going to Champion shoes. And I looked up like all the stuff with Champion shoes. I was like, oh my God, this shit's expensive as hell now.
Yep.
The times they are a change.
Yeah, the Bucks are out there wearing like Jordans and shit in the ring.
Yeah.
Like,
they're wearing fucking Gucci high tops, baby.
Yeah. Oh, remember the Dior boots they wore?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
I would never.
Boys, in season 2 of Stranger Things,
yes,
we find out that the racism that the racism that Lucas has to face is not just the hateful racism that comes from bullies. It's also the ignorant racism that can come from friends.
Mm-hmm.
When he and his friends all decide that they want to be the Ghostbusters for Halloween,
yes,
all his white friends just assumed he'd be Winston.
Yeah.
But what if he didn't want to be Winston?
And he
Shut
didn't
up,
want to be Winston. And he even brings up to them when they say, well, you're going to be Winston. He goes, why do I have to be Winston? Is it because I'm black? And they said, well, I mean, he goes, because Winston sucks.
Yes.
He says he's not a scientist. He's not even funny. He's the worst member of the Ghostbusters.
I think did he say the line when a 1,000-year-old God asks you if you're a god, you say yes?
No,
he did
that
say
was
that line.
That was his best line. If
that was
him.
Winston.
That was Winston?
Yep,
Yeah.
It was Ray. When you are asked, are you a god, you say yes.
You say yes.
No,
that was the best line he had. That was the best line he had.
It absolutely was.
And then after that, it was just like...
Because the problem is that Winston was brought in. I mean, this goes into weird background stuff. Initially, Winston was supposed to be a character played by Eddie Murphy. He was going to have a much bigger role. Then when Eddie Murphy couldn't do the movie and they brought in Ernie Hudson, they cut him down to being a nothing character.
Yeah.
But Lucas learns in the course of this story that racism can come from anybody, and it doesn't just have to be vehemently angry. It can just be stupid.
Yeah. I had a small aside. I had a conversation with one of my athletes yesterday. So I had baseball teams yesterday as well. Mm-hmm. And they had a classroom session where they go through the video of them hitting and stuff like that. And I walked in just to kind of talk to them and talk about the workout we had just done. And one of the athletes says to me, hey, hit a dance for me. I'm like, what? Go hit a dance for me. He was asking me to dance, and I said, no, not gonna do that. And if you knew the history of, history, you'd know why I'm a little upset right now. And he was totally clueless. Totally clueless, right? So I closed the door, and it's about him and about 7 other athletes in there. Mm-hmm. I said, there's a long, sordid history of white people not asking, but making black people dance. Yep. So when you just say, under threat of violence. So when you're like, dance for me, that's triggering. And I said, I know you don't know this, but you should know. And this is some of the stuff that you should be getting taught in school so that you don't make mistakes like this. I said, because if you said that to the wrong person, they wouldn't be handling it this way. They would be going upside your head.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to educate you and let you know why you don't want to ever, ever, ever say to a black person, dance for me. Yeah. And he took it very well. But it's just interesting that, sometimes, because this kid, he respects me, he likes me, but he just had no clue. And that's that little ignorance that goes around because we don't take the time to talk about racism and the history of racism and all its little nuances because we're so busy as a country kind of trying to sweep it under the rug and say, don't talk about it, forget it. Like they used to do cancer. You don't talk about cancer.
Yeah. Well,
and
that's especially because Haas, the thing that a lot of people don't like to talk about in this country is that racism ended in the 70s.
It's done.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Barack Obama, dude.
Yeah, we elected a black president, remember?
Oh no, that was a Voting Rights Act or something.
And then we elected Barack Obama.
Yeah.
But the truth of it is that we can't prove that birth certificate was real, right? So
no one really knows.
The fact that it was written in Kenyan,
the Kenyan dialect was all over it.
Right.
But season 2 was not done with Lucas, my friends.
Kenya, Alabama.
Because in season 2, we are also introduced to a character known as Billy Hargrove, who is the most 80s white boy you will ever see.
Let me pull up my man's Billy.
Get him up.
Pull up my man's Billy. You gonna love Billy.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, dude.
Billy.
Oh, Billy. Bro, you're gonna lose your shit. Oz, describe the most 80s white dude ever. Tim, you haven't seen the show either. Describe the most 80s white dude ever, and let's see how close you guys get to nailing the exact
tight rolled blue jeans.
I'm not gonna say. Don't give it. Hold on, Haas.
Collar pop.
Hold on a second, Matt. We have to poker face this. We can't give them any positive or negative confirmations. I want them to just.
Is it a high school kid?
It's a high school senior. Is the most I'll give you.
Oh yeah, got the tight rolled jeans. He's got the tight rolled jeans. He's probably got on some Asics wrestling shoes. If it's Indiana, he's got the polo shirt with the collar popped and a Letterman's jacket with it open to here, and maybe one button at the bottom.
I have to stop you one more time. I have to stop you one more time. I think I should give you one more qualifying detail. He's a bad boy.
He got the black leather jacket on. He's got the slick. He got the hair slicked. He's got a lot of. It's shiny and it's probably big and slick back. A lot of rings.
Damn, what is he? Like a mobster? What
he got a lot of little silver fucking rings on his fingers and shit. But definitely like some tight rolled jeans or tight ass fucking blue jeans, a black leather jacket, a white t-shirt. Does he have the hip? Does he have the Fonz?
It's 84, Haas, not 55.
Hey, drives a Cadillac Galaxy.
Hey, when it comes to white bullies, there's not much change in that.
Ain't nothing changed but the name.
Is he a prep bully or is he a bad boy? You said he's a bad boy.
He's a bad boy. He's a rock and roll boy.
Okay, so he's got the black leather jacket, got the chain.
You
wallet,
said it's 84 and he's a rock and roll
chain
boy?
on it and shit. Yeah.
All right. What say you, Tim? Describe this man that you've never seen before.
Okay, so I'm gonna go like 100% like hair metal on this. So like he's wearing like torn up jeans. He's got like a crazy like pink like a tank top. He's got
Axl
fucking
Rose.
giant hair. Yeah, like
he's D. Snyder.
100%. He's got
full
like
face of makeup.
The spiked wristbands.
He's got the shirt with the just net. It's a netted shirt.
Yeah, it's just a netted shirt, and there's another shirt under it.
The fishnet tank, the crop top.
They're two different colors.
Says Metallica 69 on it.
I think this. So, all
right. So while Mikey's pulling this up, I'll give you guys the description that I can to go along with it. So Billy Hargrove, the one thing that we got right about Billy Hargrove is something that Haas touched on: tight ass blue jeans.
Yes.
But on top of that, he's also rocking the full, like almost full Canadian tuxedo because he's also doing the denim jacket on top.
Denim jacket.
Everything is acid wash.
Yes.
Oh shit! He's got the machine jeans.
He's got the machine jeans as well as a dirt stash.
Yes. You guys all forgot about the stash.
Yeah, he's got a little
and
stash.
the greasy curly mullet.
Oh, he's got the mullet.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You know,
I tried to block anything mullet out of my mind.
Someone in the chat had that right. Mullet denim jacket.
Mullet denim jacket from.
That's because he watches Stranger Things.
Right. He probably seen his show with his cheating ass.
Oh, so he's just trying to feed answers to everybody.
Yeah, he's just a fucking troll.
All right.
Fuck you, Wayne. There's your boy.
Oh yeah.
So that's Billy. That's Billy circa season 3.
He's a lifeguard at the local pool.
Oh shit.
The moms love him.
Oh, he think he's doing it.
Oh no, he is the one that is pulling in all the looks from those MILFs.
Really?
The Cougars can't get enough.
So Billy is a new character in season 2. We also are introduced to his younger stepsister Max, who becomes a part of the main cast. But one of the things we have to deal with when it comes to Billy is that he is very clearly a racist white man.
Yes.
instances such as Max becomes friends with the main group, specifically becomes very close with Lucas. They wind up dating down the road. But there is an instance in which
There you go.
oh, yes, the cookies.
Look at this sex icon over here.
This fucking
defined a generation. With
I
that
forgot
cookie bite.
I forgot about the big fucking earring that he wears too.
Oh, the dangly earring.
The dangling earring.
Yeah, the dangle.
Haas was right about the ring though. It's not every finger, but he's definitely rocking that big silver ring.
Right on the middle finger for
Yep.
because
that's the first one that's gonna hit you, baby.
Yes. Oh my god.
But so there is an instance in which Max gets into an argument with Lucas out front of the school, and as she gets into the car, because Billy's the one that drives her home every day, he makes a comment to her about there are some people in this world that you don't interact with, and that kid is one of them.
Yep. He said, "Stay away from that darky."
So while there is not a moment in which Billy actively says, "You don't interact with black people," the choice of his words are very clearly meant to say, "We don't deal with black people.
We don't deal with them. They don't wash. They don't know how to swim."
And then later in the season, there he is. There's our boy.
Wow.
No, I'll say Haas had two parts because he also has the tight white t-shirt.
Yeah.
Look at the little medallion necklace.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And that's his car back there.
Yes, his
Trans Am.
His Trans Am. Yep.
He looks like
he rolls up listening to fucking
REO Speedwagon.
No, Scorpions.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
He looks like a girl that's playing a guy.
He's fucking jacked. This actor, I don't know the actor's name.
Dacre Montgomery. He is fucking ripped.
He is fucking
as the token bisexual on the panel. He can fucking get it.
Let me see if I can find a better picture of him. Haas, you can probably better as a physical trainer. You could probably better answer.
If you can find him in like the spa moment from season 3 or
sauna?
something. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll probably be good. I just really want to know, Haas, like what kind of like conditioning should this guy work on? Is he missing things? Is he just kind of taking it? Is he going too easy?
Is he only glamour muscles?
Yeah. Is this steroids? I need an expert. Haas, here's the kid. Here's the young stallion.
Character is supposed to be 18. I believe Dacre Montgomery himself is like 25 when
Does
they
he
filmed
play
this.
sports?
No, he's an actor.
Not specifically, though he is apparently fairly good at basketball, according to the show.
He's yeah. He can play basketball.
He's a lifeguard, so he's a bit of a swimmer.
He's got that I'm naturally athletic, but I don't really work hard at it body.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That metabolism cut.
The muscles are from the swimming and the basketball, but he doesn't necessarily
work out,
lift weights, really work at it.
Yeah. The lack of fat is because he can process everything he brings in.
Yeah. The burgers and everything just goes right through him.
He'll be me in 10 years. Because I used to look like that, believe it or not. But then my body started eating all the muscle because I was poor.
There was not a day in my life I ever looked like that.
And I never recovered. No. I'm still waiting.
When one of my athletes today said,
"Oh,
I am."
Oh, come on.
God.
And I was doing such a great job.
Sorry, audio listeners. Dutch just showed up.
Well, I guess.
Oh, there we go. Okay, we're back in.
He's got weirdo.
Oh, Tim's gone. What happened?
Dutch, I have powers too, you bastard.
Fucking Dutch. Oh, hi, Dutch. How are you?
Dutch.
Hey, welcome back to the land of the living, Haas.
So glad to see you.
We're all happy you're here.
I'm not dead. My leg is.
Got that old dead leg. But anyways, Matt.
It's getting there. It's getting there. It's fine.
Anyways, Matt, please continue.
So towards the end of the second season, a major moment that Lucas has to contend with is various aspects of the story have happened that lead to a moment in which our acid wash gene boy Billy Hargrove comes knocking looking for his sister, and he finds her hanging out with the main cast, especially with Lucas. And this leads to a moment in which Billy decides, I have been looking for a reason to beat somebody up, and I'm going to beat up that black kid.
Fuck that black kid.
Now, he almost does. But the two things that really save him, number one, Lucas knees him right in them family jewels.
Fuck you.
Number two,
your baby's gonna be left-handed after this.
Fan favorite babysitter and boy with that hair, Steve Harrington, jumps in to be the one who fights Billy.
Yeah, fuck him up, Steve.
Oh, so we got a white savior.
So, kind of. He's been more of it. The situation that they build Steve into throughout season 2 is in season 1, he was kind of a douchey boyfriend of one of their characters' older sister. That, you know, kind of learns a lesson and learns how to be more of a respectable person throughout that season. Season 2, he winds up getting rolled into essentially playing babysitter for all of the younger characters when they're trying to go off and fight monsters. And he basically turns into mom. So he does kind of fit into being a white savior, but it's more along the lines of he's playing more mama tiger taking care of her cubs.
What is the other like older boy's name? The one
Jonathan.
Jonathan. Okay, I couldn't.
The one who's legitimately the older sibling of one of these characters, but is not involved in almost any of these instances.
Jonathan is a bitch and will always be a bitch. So sorry, Jonathan.
Yeah.
I feel nothing for you. You can't just smoke your problems away when there's fucking monsters from other dimensions running around, bruh. That's not how this works. You gotta keep your shit sharp in a campaign.
So the problem we run into is in season 3, Lucas gets pretty much shelved for a good part of that season.
Yeah, what happened there?
I feel like
it's been a while since I watched it, so like spoilers, sorry everybody, but the show's been out for quite some time.
We're only doing spoiler alerts now.
I can only apologize for so much.
I know. So ultimately, the big thing
strap yourselves in, ya fox.
In the first season, we kind of have everybody falling into a role that they play in how they're trying to go about finding their friend Will, who has disappeared. Dustin is supposed to be kind of like the brainy, smart one. Mike is kind of like the leader.
Donatello?
Yep.
Leonardo.
And Lucas falls into the Raphael. He's very much the hothead who's looking like, I'm going to take my wrist rocket slingshot, and I'm gonna go get some answers out of whoever's gonna give them to me,
or they're gonna eat this BB baby.
Exactly. Second season, they kind of still follow that dynamic a little bit, but you know, now when we start entering in the concept of now the two of them are butting heads over who's going to be able to try and date her.
Repeat your last sentence. You froze for us for 1 second.
In the second season, we introduced the character of Max, who is a love interest that both Dustin and Lucas are kind of vying over. So that's more of the storyline that they kind of get given for that point. In the third season, the love story between Lucas and Max has kind of petered out, and we're getting into a point where they're falling into that couple that seem to fight about everything. And it's like, yeah, they get along sometimes, but most things are an argument, and you're not really sure why they're together. And the fact that they're 13, you think to yourself, like, I don't want to say it's because the sex is good, but we know.
Well, you also have to say a little bit more about Max. Max is not just like a flowery little young lady.
Max is the full-on tomboy archetype when it comes to the young girl character.
Here you go, Big Haas. For context, this be Max. She's got red hair. She's got freckles. She likes to skateboard.
She holds the high score on Dig Dug at their local arcade.
Her brother's a dick. She hates her brother.
Her eyes roll back in her head.
Yeah, she always has her headphones on. You know.
Well, that's a whole season 4 thing we'll touch on later.
Yeah.
But it seems to be that their dynamic in the third season as they're going through the storyline is, number one, her older brother Billy, the racist one that does not like Lucas, winds up getting possessed by a monster from another dimension, and he kind of becomes the big bad for the season.
Yeah. He's at least mini boss level, if not above.
Season 3.
Yeah.
And so their storyline is essentially they're trying to figure out just like what's going on. Why is this happening?
How did he get possessed? Did he get power bottomed?
That's how you get him.
A little bit. It turns out that the big bad from season 2 is like this big smoke monster kind of thing. And in the 3rd season, it is able to start kind of like taking over other people because it had done that to one character in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And while it is doing that, it has the ability to essentially control these creatures, whether it's rats or people or whatever. And then while it is controlling them, it then has also the ability to just kind of break them down molecularly and turn them into goo and use that to create a monster body that it makes for itself. And Billy's whole thing is he's possessed by this character that is being used to go and essentially recruit other people that it possesses and then uses to create its own fleshy, gross monster body.
I like the human centipede.
Kind of, yeah.
So what's lovely, and for all of you audio people, you really have to start watching us on Twitch so you can get
quit playing
the full visual effect. Just stay up late with us and have a good time. All right, get a drink and then just come hang out with us.
I'm here for you, and I should be in bed.
So this picture and that relationship hits so many chords with me because I was that nerd who had a little like redheaded girlfriend. And I mean, her brother was actually really cool and I'm still friends with him to this day, but everyone else kind of like treated us like we were weird. And we just like to like talk about Tony Hawk and play Halo and do normal kid shit. But it was this big deal that we were together.
And
we couldn't understand it.
It's specifically because the other big thing that they build about Max is that she is a character who she comes from kind of a broken home. Her mom is now married to a new man, which is Billy's dad. So she's in this step family situation that also is still, despite, being a white family that moved into Indiana from California, they're more into the lower economic sphere than anybody else. So
they live in a trailer.
Well, in the 4th season, they were living in a house in season 3 when it was the full family. But even then, it's still the idea of they are not as economically well off. And she comes from a family that has a lot of broken dynamics to it. So it's the idea of, this girl who comes from a family that she doesn't get along with, doesn't like being a part of, and is kind of looked down on, finds solace in her boyfriend, who is one of the only black kids in this town.
Yep.
Okay.
And so
I love this show. And you saying this just makes me like, I'm reliving like each episode, like in my head. I'm very happy right now.
Now, some of the trouble we run into is the show by the end of season 3 does kind of play this very quick and very weird redemption arc for Billy, the racist bully.
Yes.
I thought he was possessed.
He was possessed.
I thought he was goo.
He was the only one that didn't get turned into goo.
He was the goo
because of reasons that don't ever actually get explained.
No, if you think of a pyramid scheme, he's at the top of a different pyramid.
He's Marshall Applewhite.
He's
everybody else.
Yeah,
is Heaven's Gate.
Everyone else gets to be the goo, but he's the goo spreader. He got chosen to be the goo spreader.
So his big thing is that
he a trusty, like the trusty in life.
So by the end of the last episode, he is trying to deliver the young girl 11, who's the little white girl that has superpowers, to the big goo monster.
Mm-hmm.
And
do we want to talk about her and Drake?
Do we?
Just the rapper Drake, or
the actual actress Drake. Millie Bobby Brown, and the fact that she had a long-running friendship with Drake, despite the fact that she only turned 18 this year.
He liked the show. He used his Drake powers to say, "Hey, you're fucking amazing. I love the fucking show." That got to us into, is Drake grooming this young lady from a Netflix show?
They were seen out.
Third article you won't believe.
They were seen out and about, like hanging out at some event or whatever, and everyone
Were
was
they
like,
holding pinkies?
No,
I have no idea, but I'm going to
No,
go ahead
they
and say no
weren't.
because Mikey said no.
I'm just saying Drake tried to have a friend, and the internet was like, "Oh no, you don't."
Does Drake know she's only 16? Probably, because he's a fucking monster.
Hey, guess what? He might be light skinned, but he's still black. So he gonna.
That's
get
what I'm
that.
saying. Like, let that. Like Drake could not have a friend. Not on their watch. They said, "Oh no, you don't. What do you think you're doing? Talking to fucking Netflix actors? We'll teach you."
Backstage,
underage adolescent.
Is that black superstar Drake hanging out with a white girl?
Hey, white girl,
white woman.
Hey, Drake walked into the fucking studio like, "Hey, where the white women at?"
Smell like lemon pledge and cinnamon. I'm gonna need a minute. Damn, Uncle Ruck is funny.
But so the show decides because everyone who is a major fan, and by everyone I mean the white women and the at least somewhat gay leaning white men really want to fuck the actor who plays Billy
real bad.
That they said, well, you know what? We'll make it that he has this redemption story, because throughout the season we come to learn that
he turns to a baby face from a heel.
Exactly. What we come to learn is that, Billy, he grew up in a house where his father used to beat him all the time.
He's the victim.
He's a child of abuse. So all of the bullying that he does and the shitty things he does, these are all based on the fact that he's been a victim his whole life too. And the last moment, what he does is that not only right after he presents this young girl as a token of, please kill this girl who has superpowers to this big flesh monster, he goes, oh, wait, maybe I shouldn't do that. And so he stops it from killing her, and it kills him instead.
And now he's the hero.
He's Jesus.
He did it.
That sounds an awful lot like my redemption story.
That's some old bullshit right there.
What the fuck? You don't have a redemption story. You're not
those
redeemed.
Sunglasses prove you do not have a redemption story.
It's still the sunglasses are not for
you
any
look like
other
you need
reason.
to be cutting somebody off in traffic with an F-150.
You're like a retired blues brother.
On the recovery tour.
In 4 years, I've never worn sunglasses on the show. It's the first time.
Right. That's because his eyes is bloodshot from smoking.
My eyes are fucking beat right now.
Dutch, the question I have is, how many between 4 and 8 flags do you have flying off the back of your truck?
Right.
11.
He's got the Trump supporter starter kit glasses on.
Yeah, all he needs is his MAGA hat.
He's got the goatee.
He's got the America First glasses.
Yeah.
And I'm smoking
Keep America Great 2020?
a Trump 2024 cigar.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Is that out yet?
It'll be a reviewed
soon.
That's
I'm
me,
sure. Motherfucker.
I'm just saying. Are you copping?
If somebody sends it, I'll review it. I'm not buying it.
Yeah,
like I said
because God knows the last thing that we need to have Haas deal with is bullshit tobacco in a cardboard sleeve.
Yeah.
He
had that first Trump cigar, and he said it wasn't that bad.
Well, you know what? We think
it was like kissing your sister.
Well, that's because. But you know what? I think it's because all these like independent cigar companies are like, man, this brand ain't moving at all.
Oh yeah, throw a band
I got
on
an
it.
idea.
Throw a band on it.
Yeah, let's throw a Trump 2024 band on there, double the price.
Yep.
And people will review it and say it's the best cigar ever.
You know Jimmy Earl gonna buy one.
And it works.
You got to get two.
It's brilliant marketing.
This cigar smells like if I admitted I wanted to bang my own daughter.
And he did. And it's not cringe to anyone. Anyway.
And now we make our way into season 4 of Stranger Things.
How many seasons were there?
Currently 4.
Okay, so
we are now on the most recent season, the one that came out this year.
The good one.
The weird thing is that I've seen like 3 episodes of Stranger Things, and they were like the last 3 episodes of the whole show.
Everyone.
This is all I know.
Everyone, stop talking. I have to publicly excoriate Dutch. You brought Delhauer onto the show to talk about the social economic and political messages in Stranger Things. 1, 2, 3 of you have not seen Stranger Things.
I've seen 3 episodes.
Let the man talk, Dutch.
Damn, how you have to? You told me this 2 weeks ago.
I know.
You 3 episodes in 2 weeks. You are the worst binger. And Haas, shame on you too, because there's a black kid in it. He was an excellent black kid, and the new black kid played like an old black kid, and he did a great job. And Tim, damn it, Tim, you know what you did.
I saw the first episode.
And Tim, I'm disappointed in you most of all.
Yeah, get him. I actually feel bad attacking Tim because I love Tim.
Oh man, Dutch left.
I mean, I'll say this much: Dutch told me he wasn't going to be here at all.
That is also true.
So the fact that he's going to jump in halfway in to be like, by the way, I've never watched the show you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's a classic Jason Dutch move.
It's a Dutchism. It's a Dutchism.
Classic Dutch.
That's our Homer.
I'm just trying to be like Tony when you talk about Star Wars and pretend I care.
Let Delhauer talk.
So in season 4,
yes,
there we go.
I'm with
now,
you.
the thing that I find very interesting about season 4 is that there is the younger kids have now made their way into high school. They're freshmen in high school. The actors themselves are all like 22, but everybody's supposed to be a 14-year-old in high school.
That's when the hot top came out. When my man's went to high school again.
Yep. Now that's his kid and play high top. It's 1986, freshman in high school.
Now, Big Haas. He had the little nappy. It was a little nappy.
He had the oblong joint,
and he had no lining. I get it. You live in Indiana, la da da da. But
can't find a good barbershop. He figured out how to cut his own hair.
But you know what happened once you got to be a freshman.
You got to come correct.
I got to come with the whole fucking kit.
And what's even better is
tight.
I guarantee
flat top is level.
Season 4 is the end of freshman year, which means he came into school with that bullshit haircut.
Yeah.
And he got made fun of for it until he fixed that.
And he hooked it up because his flat top is on point.
It's on point.
The lining's great. The fade is great. The beveling is perfect. Nailed it.
Yeah,
now at this point, we get into 1986, and there's a little bit of a split amongst the main friend group. Now, between season 3 and season 4, one of their friends, Will, who was the one that went missing in season 1, he and his family have decided they're gonna get the fuck out of this town because shit just keeps going wrong whenever they're here.
This shit is cursed.
They're living out in California now, and they brought the girl 11 who had the superpowers with them because she doesn't have them anymore because of plot reasons. So she now lives with them. The rest of the group is still back in Hawkins. They're in high school. It's March of 1986. They're getting to the end of the year. And Lucas has decided that he is tired of getting bullied all the time, especially his freshman year of high school. And he decides he's going to make a move to try and get himself in with the popular crowd, and he joins the basketball team. And he has rode the bench all year because he's a freshman and he's one of 2 black kids on that team.
What say you, Big Haas? Is that accurate that now that he's in high school as opposed to the middle school, he chose what a lot of black nerds choose is the avenue of sports because it kind of gives you that safe haven to not be picked on for being a nerd because you're also an athlete.
Not necessarily.
What say you, sir?
Not necessarily true because I was on the football team and I got bullied still because I was little.
Also, that don't use you as an example because you were like 4'11" until you were like
graduated.
And then you graduated from high school and then you shot up like 10 inches after. No, shut up, you.
5 inches.
10 inches after.
He's now 4'11" and 3/4.
Pause.
That's how you really power bottom. Jump up 5 inches in a summer. That'll do it.
That graduates you to top real quick.
He's Terry Crews light.
Because at that point, you're just driving it in downward.
All right.
You wanted this.
But ultimately, Haas, the big thing for him is it's very obvious that Lucas, I mean, granted, yeah, the actor's supposed to be I think the actor's 20 years old at this point, but it looks like he grew, I'm going to go ahead and say 4 inches between the 2 seasons. He's got a little bit more of a build on him, and he's going for basketball rather than football, where you don't have to be built to be a major part of that team.
Mm-hmm.
So he decides, yeah, I'm gonna go diving into the world of sports teams, because it means I can make new friends. I can, kind of get behind.
Is that what was intimated on the show, or is that what we're okay?
Because the big conflict in the first episode is Mike and Dustin, the other 2 members of his core friend group. Yeah. They are members of a club in school called the Hellfire Club, which is the D&D club, which Lucas is also a member of. So he's still playing D&D with his friends, but he joined the basketball team because he is looking to try and make his way up the social ladder.
He's
a
branching
little more.
out. He's trying to branch out.
And they run into a conflict where the Hellfire Club is going to be running a game that night that's supposed to be the end of their big D&D campaign, but it's the same night as the finals game for basketball. They're in the finals for state.
But he's not playing.
He's not playing, but they have to have the team there for every game.
The whole team.
And so he's asking, can you guys just come to my game and support me? Because this is a thing I really want to be a part of, and it's really important to me. And this is the final game of the season. If we win the championship. And whereas their side is saying, can you skip the game or get it postponed, because tonight's our big final campaign game.
Motherfucker, he a freshman. How you gonna get the game postponed?
It's stupid kids who don't play sports thinking that you can somehow cancel a sporting event.
Can you get the game postponed? Can you skip the final game, the championship game? Really, dude?
And this is where a conflict amongst the friends come from. Mikey, you're muted.
I hit the button because I was fucking with shit. Sorry. Big House, go all the way into that. Think you, right? Let's say you're playing D&D with your friends and your mom doesn't say it's satanic.
Right.
Or grandma don't say it's satanic. So you have your core group of your homies, the boys from the block. You end up the fucking 10 toes down homies. Yeah. Y'all have a campaign where the boss is coming up. But also, your little freshman ass made varsity, and you got to go ride the pine.
Yeah.
What do you do?
The thing is that you made that commitment.
To who?
To the team.
Also to your friends.
No.
Yes, yes.
No, listen.
But they have a commitment to you as well.
Listen to me.
A D&D campaign is 1,000% a commitment.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Your true friends, they're going to be like, go and do what you got to do. We'll do what we have to do. Your true friends will do that. Because you said 10 toes down. They've been 10 toes down since middle school.
That goes both ways.
You've been working to get to where you're going right now.
He said, I want to play basketball. So when you join a team, you have to adhere to those teams' rules.
So here's one last thing I'm going to throw in for Haas. The other aspect of the D&D club that I have not explained right away. This is a D&D club that is being run by a senior at the high school, Eddie Munson.
Yes.
Who is
Eddie
Munster.
Eddie Munster.
Full on a werewolf.
Cameo appearance.
So Eddie is the senior who runs the game, and he is the one who we realize early in the episode, he makes a comment about how he brought the 3 of them as freshmen into Hellfire Club because he wanted to essentially bring in these lost sheep who had nowhere else to go in their freshman year and show them that high school doesn't have to be as shitty as it is. That you can find your tribe and be a part of it, and we will take care of you, and vice versa.
But don't say nothing. Matt, pause it, Matt. Respond, Big Haas. These are the guys that brought you in.
Sometimes you have more than one circle.
And so
I got my motorcycle. I got my motorcycle circle. I got my fraternity circle. I got my thread boy circle. You know, I got my coaching circle.
And so having more than one circle, it means that at some point
they're gonna have
you have to make a choice as to which one matters more to you
and
that time.
Your foundational people will always be there for you. Your foundational people will always be there for you.
So just chuck them to the side whenever it's convenient.
Them to the side. No,
whenever it's convenient, just get in the back seat because I want to go fucking sit on the bench.
Mikey, this ain't practice. This ain't practice. This ain't practice. It's a championship game.
We ain't talking about the game where I put my whole life on the line. We're talking about practice.
We're talking about practice.
Now the best.
If this was a practice or if this was an early season game, maybe. But this is the championship last game.
Yeah, this is not even something that's up for debate. As you know, I played sports in high school and in JUCO.
What?
And
Dutch?
It's
oh my god.
Look, when especially
can't do that, especially
I never got to a championship game. The year that I played baseball at COD was the one year that we didn't win the national championship in like 7 years, right? So that was how good I was. I was so good the team didn't win that 1 year.
COD won national championships?
Yeah, NJCAA, yeah.
Now I have been a part of 2 national championships semi-pro teams.
COD is very good at a lot of sports.
I didn't know that actually.
But
a lot of athletes who can't get into a 4-year go to COD.
They think about it just real quick.
Like
You've got Wheaton North, you've got Wheaton Central, you got the 2
Naperville Glenbard North.
You got all these schools that win state like every year.
Yeah, not all those kids go to 4
football,
years.
All the kids that don't go to like Michigan or U of I end up going to COD.
They'll go to COD, get their grades up, and then they
get like the B tier players from all the best schools. So I mean they're very, very good. But the point of the matter is this:
y'all are fucking backstabbers.
Championship
Go ahead.
Is generally a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna be there.
It will never happen to him ever again.
So
Hellfire Club will be there next year.
It'll be there next year.
No, the campaign won't be there next year. The campaign ends tonight.
Yeah,
but
that was because you picked that night.
The night is the same night that it's been before you even got fucking picked for the fucking team.
But
I can't.
It has to. It's not like you have to do it on Halloween at midnight because it's Halloween.
You could do the campaign on a different day.
Right.
Before you even
Mikey, can you not change the day of the campaign?
It don't matter about that.
Funny enough.
Got him.
Funny enough. Big part of the storyline.
You're literally moving the goalpost, Haas, and then you're saying, got him.
A big part of the storyline in the first episode is the two sides of it arguing, well, tonight is the night of the campaign, well, tonight is the night of the championship game. Lucas says, clearly, I don't have any power to change when the championship game is. Just tell Eddie to postpone the campaign. The problem they run into is that Eddie Munson, being one of the like heavy metal, I don't give a shit about things that are popular type people, says, I don't postpone my campaign for fucking anybody. So no, I will not change the night.
The problem was with Eddie Munson then. It's not
at which point Mike and Dustin are told you either get Lucas to play the game or you have to find a substitute to play for him, because no matter what, the Cult of Vecna game happens tonight.
Now hold on. Now, Matt, hold on, Matt. I know we got a long way to go, and I promise I won't drag us down.
Do.
But I have to make them feel involved in this.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to attack them to get them to talk because they're nerds who don't know how to be proper nerds. So Big Haas and Jason Dutch, you're looking me in the face, in my whole ass face. If TYT called tomorrow and said, I need you Wednesday night, y'all leaving the boys at home? Is that what you're saying to me?
No, I didn't join TYT. I didn't join TYT.
When the big times come calling, are you going to leave your friends?
That's not really the same. That's not really the same thing.
Don't help them, Matt. Don't help them.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
No,
thing.
actually, Mikey, I was about to throw something your way. Literally, when Dutch decided that he was not going to be able to take care of the podcast tonight, a thing he has made a dedication to all the time. Now, granted, I understand Dutch's reasons. I'm not trying to claim that he didn't have any reason that was worthwhile. Dutch brought in a pinch hitter.
Yeah.
Go find a motherfucking D&D player. And then what you do is you bitch out fucking Eddie Munson for not postponing the game. Quit being a hoe. Tell me you didn't make the fucking team.
So Eddie Munson is so anti-establishment.
Yeah.
That he is willing to create he's willing to make a kids basketball team an establishment.
The thing I will offer up to you guys is there is the big iconic Eddie scene that they have is there's a scene that you can find on YouTube. It's very easily you can find from Stranger Things. Is this whole entire thing where he goes on this tirade rant about how much he does not like the concept of following the establishment in society while he's in like the lunchroom at the school, and how the concept of we as people who like this fantasy game that we play are seen as the outsiders and the monsters because we don't just do what we're told.
So
tell me you didn't make the fucking team as a freshman without saying you didn't make the fucking team as a freshman.
Tim, let us know what you think. Tim, the floor is yours.
All right, this is going to shock a lot of people, but I actually agree with Dutch.
Oh my God, Tim's white.
And Hassan, because Big Haas is saying the same thing.
I've been betrayed.
Oh wait, nope, there it is. Now I'm pointing.
And he's frozen.
Good job, Mikey.
Way to go, Mike. You just had to shut him up, didn't you?
All we heard was and
then you froze.
Okay, all right. And this Eddie character seems like an authoritarian.
Yeah, fucking Trump.
And he is the establishment.
It's a young Trump
that he claims to rally against.
Yeah,
I hate the establishment so much. I'm going to become the establishment.
He has become the monster that he has sought.
Like you cannot compare. Wow. Like I guess what is important to you is important to you, right? Like we don't get to tell people what's important to them. Wow. But when you ask someone to say, well, if we don't go, then the entire team forfeits. It sounds like that doesn't sound normal, but that sounds like the context of this, because the whole team, Matt said the whole team had to be there. Like you have a lot of components in place for a sporting event that you have to take into consideration. You have referees who are paid to be there. You have concessions people who are paid to be there. You have security staff that are paid to be there. You have the
capitalism.
Yes, that's true. But you would still have these components. That's not necessarily something that is associated specifically with capitalism, but because you have sports in socialist countries that have the same dynamic.
No, it's cool. Right winger, go ahead.
But the
D&D game.
But the point, like you have parents who are bringing their kids to the game. You have other schools that are busing their kids there. Oh, so like you have this entire
doesn't grow on trees.
You have. Well, I didn't even think about the gas. I'm thinking about the parents' time. You take time off work, you take time away from your other kids.
Game.
And it's a once in a lifetime thing that is, for most people, is highly unlikely to repeat itself ever again.
Exactly.
It's a once in a lifetime thing. So like Mikey brought up the experience, the thing of like, hey, you know what? TYT calls and they say, hey, you know what? We need you to go on. We want you guys to come on. We like what you guys are doing. The show's Wednesday at 7:00. I'm sending one of us there.
Yeah,
because it's for the better of everyone.
Stop. You're giving yourself a fucking out. You're a fucking dishonest
You brought up the
no, fuck you, piece of shit. You're not saying, oh, one of us needs to be there. I'm saying your ass misses your show. Not someone has to be representative of the show. No, you miss your shit. That is what we're talking about. Not
but
someone has to be there. Don't try
but
to
in that
scoot
case,
out of the way.
But in that case, though, that opportunity could make our show better. So
are you canceling?
I don't think it's a good example.
Are you canceling Dig so that you can go on TYT like last minute, like 9:30, right before we go live? Let me finish the prompt. at 9:30, TY Jank Uger sends you a DM on Twitter and says, I want you to be on my show tonight. Here's the link. What do you say?
I'll be there.
You're a fucking backstabbing traitor son of a bitch.
Because
I guess the question I have is, why are TYT recording at fucking 9:45?
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Because in order for it to be a
early episode tomorrow,
in order for it to be a direct analogy, in order for it to kind of correlate to the other scenario, I wouldn't be canceling the show. I would be calling Delhauer to come on in my stead. Or I would be saying, hey, Mikey, because in that case, I was not the leader of Hellfire Club. Lucas was not the leader of Hellfire Club. So in that scenario, I could not be the leader of DOA, which I'm not. We're a DAO, but
what the fuck
a decentralized organization. Look it up.
So no, there's got to be hierarchy somewhere. There's some Jordan Peterson shit in there somewhere.
We all know that Haas. We all know that everything runs through Haas. But like, I'd have to say, hey, Mikey, I need you.
I already made.
Can we reschedule the show for Thursday? And you say no. DOA don't stop for nobody. So then it would go to you.
I already made a comment about how Dutch said he couldn't be on and basically told me I have to come up with a prompt for the episode.
No, that's not true. I didn't booty call you this time.
No, what you did was you said, "Hey, there are two different weeks where I can't be on. Which day do you want?" And I said, "This date." You went, "Great. Which of the two ideas that you have for an episode do you want to do?" Oh, so now I'm the fucking main host of your show as a guest.
So again, I'm going to bring this up again.
You don't bring Matt Delhauer on a show to be in the background.
Again, I'm going to ask the two of you, and I will change the parameters ever so slightly.
Rabbit hole. Tangent.
It's not a rabbit hole. It's not a tangent. It's a fundamental part of the show, and it's a fundamental part of people. So either you are the person that says, I started my own thing with my friends and I'm part of this and I love it and I'm going to keep doing it. So then when people who have all of the time before this ignored me, no, all of the people that never liked me, never supported me, never really accepted me into society, because now they're on my side. Now I can clear my schedule and go do what they ask me to do. Instead of the thing that I've been doing the whole time.
That's not why it's done.
That's what I'm asking you.
Listen.
So if it came, both of you have answered separate questions than what I've asked you. I'm asking you, will you give up what you created to go with what is popular? That is the question.
But that's not the
that's not the way you frame the question.
That you haven't seen the fucking show. That is the question. I'm breaking it down and distilling it so that this is the core. This is the crux of it. Y'all are talking about fucking.
That's your crux.
So
that's your perception.
I'll jump in for a second to give
Mikey.
Mikey.
Seen the episode. That's what it is.
No, it don't. But here's the thing. No, wait, hold on. What does it
bother you at 11 if you don't go to a fucking basketball game?
Just a second. You're a freshman. You made varsity. You joined the team. You tried out for the team. You joined the team. Okay. Right? The team has a schedule. The championship game from the beginning, no matter who's playing in the championship game, it's on the schedule for that day.
They ain't giving you nope. You ain't never got a minute.
And so what? So what? And the other thing that's the conflict, if not for a fucking asshole, can be easily moved. Why the fuck am I going to be like, I'm going to dip out on this game and ruin sophomore, junior, and senior year and not be able to play because I dipped out on the game? Because who knows what happens? You know,
they've never played you.
People who have had, that's freshman year. That is freshman year.
So then why am I on the team if I never get to play?
Because that's what you do. You pay your fucking dues. You played sports, didn't you?
I did.
Okay, so you know the concept of
I started.
I'm
I
a
don't have.
freshman.
I don't have these.
I'm a
Problems.
freshman.
Oh.
I got moved up to varsity, but I don't play on varsity. Okay, I'm gonna be the good soldier. I'm gonna be the good the good teammate, and then sophomore year I'm gonna probably get some run. But if I dip out on a championship game, and God forbid the 2 point guards that's ahead of me get hurt, and they look down the bench and I ain't there,
So
then
that's
guess who's not playing next year? But we can move the fucking campaign. We can move it. Don't be. Your problem is with fucking Eddie. It's not with fucking Lucas.
Lucas, right?
If anything, y'all should be looking at fucking Eddie like, asshole. Postpone the game. Postpone the campaign until after the fucking game.
I'm gonna let Matt get back into Matt stuff, but I'm just glad to know where my homies stand. When the chips are down, they're going to the fuck. They're going for the bag. They never going for the homies. No, that's what you said.
True.
I get
You
you.
said
That's what you like to do is just sacrifice your friends.
You make it sound like I fucking put in an application at TYT and they called me for a fucking interview.
You did?
That
the funny,
is the
funny
I was gonna say
that a basketball team
the funny
not playing.
The funny thing is the concept of Lucas trying out for the team and getting on the team would be if Haas had put in an app at TYT and they said, "Yeah, we're gonna put you in the rotation," and then for like 6 months you never wound up on the show.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
However, I put in
an played. He never played.
So
but I give Haas this much credit. Is what he's saying is that in having put in that application, in having tried out for the team, and having become a part of it, he himself said, I am willing and able and going to make whatever sacrifice is expected of me for the team that I am willingly trying to become a part of.
Right. And y'all can move the fucking campaign.
Right.
So very much to Mikey's chagrin, I bring up the next part of this storyline.
Lace eye.
Mikey's really pissed off.
Mike and Dustin find an alternate, and it is
It's Billy.
No, it's not Billy. Billy's dead.
Billy.
It is.
Billy died.
It is Erica Sinclair.
Hell yeah!
It is in fact Lucas's little sister.
Lucas' little sister, and
it's Lucas's little sister.
She's probably great.
Lucas's little sister is one of my favorite characters on this show. I will say the problem is that Erica does fall under the stereotype of the sassy black girl.
She's very sassy, and she doesn't give a fuck about what none of y'all are saying. What does this do to benefit Erica? You can't spell America.
Can't spell America without
Erica.
I love her already.
She's the best.
They get Erica in, and she winds up being the fucking MVP of their D&D game. Speaking of MVPs,
it all worked out.
At the championship game, one of the players gets hurt, and Lucas gets taken off the bench the first time that season. And what does Lucas do?
Turns the ball over 12 times.
He Russell Westbrooks it all the way down the court.
Lucas finds out he's fucking bad at this. No. Lucas winds up shooting the game-winning three-pointer that gets them the championship win. Despite the fact that Jason, the team captain, who's very white, had made a point that he wants to be the one to win the game.
Yep. Fuck you, Jason. If the shot comes to you in the flow of the game, take it. If it doesn't, fuck the fuck off. Go play.
Fuck you, Jason will come up more than once this season.
It comes up a lot on this show.
But you ain't never lied. So here's the other part of that. So this team, remember, this is fucking 80s Indiana. These guys, these teammates are not fucking bastions of justice and goodliness. They're fucking jock assholes.
But you still joined the team.
But they're assholes.
But you joined the team.
Because
how many times have we worked somewhere where we don't like people, but we go?
I murder them and move on with my life.
Lucas made a point that these jock assholes are the exact people he wants to be associated with, because that means that those jock assholes are not going to bully him anymore if he's one of them.
Especially after he hit that shot. They all on his nuts now.
Especially after he sinks the 3 that wins them the championship. Lucas is their fucking boy now.
That mug got ball hangers right now.
And so he leaves the game. He sees that everyone from Hellfire is also leaving the high school where they hold their game because they won. They defeated Vecna. It turns out that Erica won the game for them. The Sinclairs get shit done.
It's the Sinclairs, motherfucker.
Sinclair Incorporated, bitch.
But Lucas is obviously very hurt that instead of trying to postpone the game, his friends felt it was necessary to replace him with the only other black character on this show.
You can't get pissed off, Luke. Now,
diversity hire.
He can't get pissed off.
I agree.
I'm very happy that you found somebody because now we both
got what we wanted.
Right.
But the issue was that what Lucas had asked his friends was not only he didn't want them to postpone the game so that he could play. He wanted them to postpone the game so that his friends would come see him play in the championship game.
Oh, he wanted them to come to the basketball game.
He wanted them to be there to support him at the basketball game.
That kind of puts a little bit of a twist on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why not?
I will put it on me.
Hey, Dutch, Haas, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. How hard is it to convince a bunch of
I'll put it on me that I did not give that detail when I described the conflict.
I think that is still Eddie's problem, but I think that the reasoning for him wanting the game postponed is now selfish. It's now way more selfish.
I'm just saying, why not?
And that puts a sour taste in my mouth.
It was not just, I have other commitments I have to adhere to. Right. It was, I have other commitments that I want you to set your day around.
Yeah, that's a little selfish. That's a little selfish. But the game could still get postponed. But it should have been, hey, I signed up for this, so I must honor this commitment. You have the option. You have more options than I do. As far as massaging the time of the campaign, let me play the game. I'll come after and we'll play. Or find someone else.
And as far as I can understand from the way that this is all set up, this is basically a Friday in their week. So this is a thing where even if he said, look, I'm going to play the championship game, what if we started Hellfire at 10?
Yeah.
Rather than at 8?
Not the whole weekend.
But D&D sessions typically, especially in person, go 4 to 8 hours.
Which is fine.
Long sessions.
But I mean, basketball games, you're going to be going 2 hours, two and a half, maybe.
Tops.
So that game starts at 7. They're done by 9. According to what this show is telling us, by the time the basketball game was over, so was the game of D&D.
Yeah. They
won fast.
Takes a long time. But
Vishnu turned out to be a pussy.
So we're going to fast forward a little bit because a big part of this season is so Haas, you had a real problem with Eddie Munson and the way that he was running his D&D campaign.
Yes.
Well, it turns out that a lot of people in town have a major problem with Eddie Munson because he likes heavy metal music and he plays D&D. And one of the cheerleaders in their town dies in the trailer that he lives in with his uncle.
Oh, shit.
And she dies violently.
Very.
And Hawkins, Indiana has decided that Eddie Munson is a Satan worshiper and a murderer.
Well, he plays D&D, so of course.
Was he listening to fucking Metallica?
Yes, he was.
He listened to rock music, too?
This boys know how them burnouts are.
This boy is rocking long hair, a leather jacket, a denim vest, and he plays guitar in a heavy metal band.
Dude, wait, he's got the denim jacket and he's got the leather jacket with the denim vest.
Mikey, can you pull up a picture of my boy Eddie Munson?
I got you. I made this music for us.
Let this be a lesson to everyone. Pat Robertson was right. Backmasking and D&D. We'll let Satan into your soul.
Oh, yeah, let me
because it's Satan.
Lucifer. Jimmy Swaggart, moral majority, Jerry Falwell.
Jimmy Swaggart.
They were right.
The hotel dude.
Right. Wayne.
I mean, honestly, it all boils down to I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna quote the modern philosopher Jack Black when he said, "Heavy metal, it comes from hell."
School of Rock.
Punk rock tried to destroy the metal, but
it failed.
And as it was thrown,
as it was stricken to the ground.
Yeah, there's your boy.
No, that's Billy.
What am I looking up?
You're looking up Eddie Munson, my guy.
Oh, Eddie.
The stash is killing me.
I think Mike.
I love the stupid fucking dirt stash.
It's
like a couple of caterpillars having a meat on his upper lip.
It's like a caterpillar shit on his lip. Like a caterpillar just couldn't hold it, trying to get back to the branch, the shit branch.
So while he's looking for him, what I'll detail is, the whole town has decided that Eddie Munson very clearly committed this murder, despite the fact that it was done by a supernatural monster from another dimension. Because the cheerleader that died was the girlfriend of Jason, our team captain for the basketball team. He decides that it is now his mission to hunt down and get revenge against Eddie for what happened. There's Eddie Munson.
Hold on, what's the cheerleader doing in this spot anyway?
So the long and short of that is Eddie Munson, outside of being a metalhead who plays D&D, is also the weed dealer at the high school.
Oh, so she was there for the weed.
And so
you got that shit.
Was she there for the weed or was she there for the stem?
Well, here's the thing. we can't really fully say. Yeah. There is a scene in which she meets up with Eddie trying to buy weed from him because she is being plagued by nightmares that are very clearly being caused by the big bad Vecna of the season. Mm-hmm. But the two of them kind of hit it off. They get along fairly well. And she says she thinks she might need something stronger than weed.
Oh, the stem.
So he brings her back to his trailer because he can sell her ketamine.
Keta dick.
Exactly. And before he can make the deal or seal the deal, she winds up being murdered psychically. So, Jason becomes a minor antagonist for this season as he is hunting down Eddie, believing him to be a murderer.
I love
and
that.
The rest of our main cast are friends of his, having been part of the Hellfire Club. Mm-hmm. The one that falls into an interesting spot this season is Lucas, because he has decided he wanted to be on the basketball team. He's one of their boys now, and they've all decided that they're going to go on a essential lynch mob hunt for Eddie Munson, the guy who runs the D&D club.
Kill the wabbits,
that Lucas is also a member of.
Yeah. So what say y'all now? What say y'all? No, because they need to be engaged in this. Like, they're not getting it because they haven't seen it. But I'm mad at them.
I've actually seen this part.
You haven't seen the episodes that give you the nuance for the difficulty of this decision.
So
I didn't see
why
that. I saw the cheerleader get killed, and I saw the guy with the shield and the
that's like 12 hours in between both of them, Dutch.
Yeah, like you're all over the place.
Haas, what I will offer to you is this. Yeah. It is the idea, and the question is that as Lucas, you are in a situation in which the friends that you have decided you really want to be with are now setting out on a plan that they want to murder the guy that you met at the beginning of the year who brought you into his friend group because he felt that he could show you that you don't have to be an outcast and hate your life in high school.
And also, he probably knows that this was a psychic killing.
And because of his interactions in the supernatural throughout the series, he has an idea that it's probably not the fact that Eddie Munson killed this girl.
Okay. So what is your question for me?
If you are Lucas and you find yourself in this position, how are you then reacting to that? Because you now have these guys who are your new friends, the friends you wanted to be with, who are looking to you to be a part of this group when they have decided we got to get some revenge for the death of this girl.
No, first things first is I'm black. I can't rock with y'all on no lynch shit.
There's What if there's one other black guy?
There's one other black guy.
So,
not only that,
Wilden always rock with Carlton.
That's true.
What do you mean that I'm not black?
So ultimately, here's the thing: is that when it starts off, it's not so much built in the idea of like we're gonna go out there and we're gonna lynch somebody. It's we got to go get answers for ourselves.
Oh yeah, of course. But here's the thing: is that
but then it turns into baseball bats, pipes, and then eventually
breaking and entering.
Yeah,
I think that if I'm Lucas, I'm finding a way to push them away from this idea without alienating myself from the group.
So the interesting aspect of that is Lucas does kind of toe that line because then they start talking about like, okay, well, he's a member of this Hellfire Club. They play D&D. I heard that D&D game that's Satanist. Like that's some heavy shit. To which Lucas goes, well, that's not what it is at all. And then they turn and go, well, how the fuck do you know Sinclair?
How do they know? How do they not know he plays D&D?
I read it on the internet before it was invented.
If my boy wants to be popular, would he tell them he was in the D&D?
So he's hiding that part of himself.
Yep.
Okay, but also this. This is the route I would take.
Tell me your route.
Hey guys, do you really want to have assault and battery and mob action on your record as a high school basketball player trying to get to college?
Let me throw this out to you. This sheriff is stoking the fears of the town by being a shitty sheriff. Everyone is terrified of what's going on.
But that doesn't matter.
Kind of falls into the sad aspect of like the race relations of the show because it's the first year of this guy being sheriff, and he's black.
Yep.
God damn it.
Hey, remember your boy from Luke Cage who always had the fucking Turk? Your boy Turk? Who was selling the weapons and shit out of the back of the van? That's the mayor, big dog.
Yeah, he's the new sheriff in town.
Yeah.
And he only got that job because the previous sheriff died in a fire.
Oh, jeez.
This sounds like the last sheriff they had on Sons of Anarchy. He didn't last very long.
No, he did not.
Yeah.
My wife loves that show.
Sons of Anarchy is the shit. It is the shit. Do not hate on Sons of Anarchy.
Hold on. Matt, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I will make you a wager, Big Haas. And this goes for Dutch as well. You're not exempt from this just because you're a white man in this country.
Oh God, that was my neck if you could hear that. But
oh, that probably felt great.
It did.
I will watch and finish Sons of Anarchy before you guys watch and finish Stranger Things.
That's a sucker's bet because you probably win that with me.
Dutch?
Sure, I'm in. I'll watch Stranger Things. I've never been against watching it. I just have had other things to do.
How many seasons are there of Sons of Anarchy before I suckers bet my damn
I think
self?
it's 5.
5 or 6.
I think
it's
6
5
at most.
I think it's 5.
Okay. I will get through 6 seasons before you get through 4. I'll give you guys
enjoy Sons of Anarchy more than Stranger Things.
You don't even know that. You don't even know. That's what I'm saying.
And the interesting aspect, so Sons of Anarchy 5 seasons, I think it's 10 episodes a season, whereas Stranger Things you're bouncing between 8 and 9 episodes each season. So
you got the shortcut.
You're a little. And here's the good thing about Sons of Anarchy that you get. Ron Perlman is genius in that show.
I think
and Katie Seagal and there's lots of gratuitous sex too.
Her name is Peggy. His name is Hellboy. Can you get it correct?
Yes.
Well, Peggy gets railed pretty good by
that Pegs. That Pegs.
You want to talk about a power bottom?
Dude from Hill, by a Latino dude from Hill Street Blues.
Yeah, I love Ron Perlman. If I ever met him in life, it would be like Childish Gambino.
You mean Jimmy Smits?
Yeah, Jimmy Smits.
He went all the way back to Hill Street Blues. He's been in like a million things since then.
You want to, if you want to age yourself real quick.
Like you went all the way past. Was it Law and Order? Is that what he was in?
No, it's not Law. It was the lawyer show, I think.
No, Jimmy Smits was NYPD Blue.
NYPD Blue. Yeah.
Everybody stop talking. We're all going to age ourselves, but all separately, independently, but also in the same vein, I want each of you to name the movie or show that you first saw. Now you hear the question. Val Kilmer, Big Haas, go.
Top Gun.
Dutch, go. Delhauer, go.
What came out first? Heat
Batman Forever.
or Batman?
What was the one you said? Heat?
Heat or Batman? I don't remember which one came out first.
Heat was first.
Then Heat.
And you said Batman. Willow.
Oh, I didn't remember him being in that.
He was in Willow.
Yep.
That would be my answer also.
Willow. I didn't see Willow until after I saw Top Gun.
Yeah, then I don't qualify because you said, do I remember seeing Val Kilmer in? So I don't remember Val Kilmer being in it.
Mine might have been Top Gun because I know my brother and my dad love that movie, but I know the first movie that comes to mind when I think Val Kilmer is always Batman Forever.
Yeah, which is not good.
Yeah,
mine is Val Kilmer is Mad Mardigan in my heart and in my brain, and he will never not be anything other than
that or The Ghost in the Darkness, because I remember that movie.
God, that
movie! I remember sitting there as a kid watching the scene where he's just sitting in the tree with Michael Douglas, like waiting for the lion, and being like, "What the fuck is happening in this movie?"
Yeah. And they were talking about how the lion's tongue is so rough it could just lick the skin off a human being.
That's accurate.
I was like, God damn.
If you like,
I ain't going.
I will pull up a picture of a lion's tongue.
No.
Is the cigar gone, or you can't smoke?
Well,
there it is. All right.
So
anyway,
while Mikey looks up a picture of a lion's tongue, we have about 17 minutes, I think, 18 minutes until we lose Haas, and I should have been in bed 3 hours ago. So let's go ahead and let's wrap up our talk about season 4 of Stranger Things. And we didn't even touch on half of the shit that I had prepared.
Different animals have different. They protract from sheath.
That's why. I mean,
we can hear that.
That's what you.
Your power comes from an incredible set of.
Mikey.
There we go.
We can hear it.
It wouldn't stop. I clicked it and it is just like auto played, and I'm like, fucking too many windows open, and I got stuck in the lag loop. Sorry.
So to fast forward, most of the fourth season of Stranger Things involves Lucas essentially trying to secretly undermine the plans of the basketball team lynch mob to try and find Eddie Munson, because he doesn't want his friend getting hurt, and he knows his other friends will most likely be in the crosshairs as well.
He sends them in the literal opposite direction.
Until they realize that, oh my God, Sinclair was a member of the Hellfire Club and he absolutely betrayed us. And so then he becomes another one of their enemies. This leads to a moment in the end of the fourth season in which there is a massive plan being enacted by the friends in order to try and combat this monster known as Vecna, who is in the other dimension of the Upside Down.
I thought Vecna got defeated in the D&D game.
So a big part of Stranger Things is they name the monsters that they face based on monsters from D&D.
Okay, correct. Okay, gotcha.
Because it's the only way that the characters know how to kind of understand the concept of them.
Like a Demogorgon is like the big like thumbnail for all of like the Stranger Things thing. It's like
the giant petal face monster.
Yeah, it looks like a giant humanoid with gray skin, a little bit slimy maybe. Long nails.
I've seen it.
Walks on all fours.
It's nasty.
As a humanoid, but its head, instead of being a mouth, has 4 petals that
I know, like a predator.
That go out in all 4 directions.
They name it a Demogorgon because there is a monster in D&D known as the Demogorgon, which is the Prince of Demons, and it doesn't look like that at all, and it's very different in that sense. But it's just that because that was the thing they were dealing with in their D&D game, that's how they were able to relate to it.
Okay.
So this monster who from another dimension has the ability to curse you and kind of kill you from afar, they refer to him as Vecna.
Damn.
They're enacting this major plan that they want to go through in order to try and defeat him. But a big part of that plan involves Erica and Lucas kind of staying back in the regular world at this old house in town where they're looking after their friend Max, who is part of this kind of like mental battle that she is having with this monster.
I'm running up that hill.
Now the problem.
Go ahead.
The problem they run into is that finally, after this entire season, Jason and his basketball friends. By the way, the other black kid on the basketball team gets killed by Vecna.
Yep.
They don't. They are devastated by it,
In
but
the
at the
water,
same time,
no
they
less.
don't realize that that's how it happened. They think it was more of Eddie's Satan magic.
Old Satan magic McGillicuddy.
You know, the classic Satan magic. They finally come across Erica and Lucas at this house doing what they think is some kind of weird Satanistic ritual that is going to sacrifice the lily white girl Max to Satan.
We must save her.
And so
Jason. I'm sorry, Delhauer. This is an actual lion's tongue. It gets much worse than what I showed because that was a cat's tongue in which the little barbs on their tongue are much more closely spaced. That's a lion's tongue whose tongue is like 1.5 feet long. So just imagine the spaces in between those and all those little cartilagey, like hard spaces spread out more. So like either you can have like 1,000 nails on a board you want to lay on it, or one nail. Which would go through your skin better? That's why lions are bad and they should be canceled forever. Anyway,
stop it. I love lions.
Keep them.
I tell my son all the time, lions don't have to roar all the time, but you got to.
Delhauer's got to go to bed. So do you.
Yeah, and I got to finish this. Yeah.
Push along.
So we wind up at a moment.
Christ.
We wind up at a moment that finally is one of the greatest fears that I feel that any young black man could face in his life.
A lynch mob.
An overzealous white man pointing a gun at him.
Yep.
And we have a confrontation in which Jason has Lucas at gunpoint, demanding that you undo the ritual that you're doing right now to try and because he thinks that he's saving this girl Max. Despite what Lucas tries to explain to him about how you don't understand what's going on here, and you're honestly just making everything worse, like we white people tend to do. It winds up being in a situation in which Lucas and Jason get into a physical fight throughout the attic of this old house.
And the gun goes off.
I think the gun does go off once, but it doesn't hit anybody, and then they get into a fist fight. But the fist fight then leads to a situation that makes everything worse for the plan that they're trying to lay out.
Note that Matt said that he wants him to bring the pretty white girl back, but not his teammate.
Yes.
Of course.
Well, the teammate's already dead. The girl that he's talking about is currently in a trance.
Yeah. She's in a voodoo trance.
Outside, one of his buddies from the basketball team has also chased down Lucas's sister, Erica, who at this point is an 11-year-old girl, tackled her to the ground and is holding her there by putting her arm behind her back and holding her down. So,
and he grew up to be on the Minnesota Police Department.
Lucas is able to ultimately overpower Jason, beat him in a physical fight, but this does not stop terrible things happening to Max and the rest of the town as Vecna technically wins, and there is a gate opened between the two dimensions, which does split Jason in half, which is cool, but not exactly cathartic seeing this man who pulled a gun on a young black kid getting his comeuppance, because it doesn't exactly mean that, you know, he was ever proved to be wrong in what he did.
Right.
So these are all the moments that Erica and Lucas Sinclair face throughout these 4 seasons that are highly racially motivated. Now, the N-word is never once uttered throughout this show. There is never a point where anyone actively says to them that they don't belong there, because they're black, that they are lesser for being black, except for the one kid who called him Midnight. But there are still instances in which their race is incorporated into the situations they find themselves in, and they are the only 2 characters in the show that face a horror such as a man with a gun outside of everybody else facing down monsters from another dimension.
Sounds like regular life in America.
Now, my question is this. There are a lot of people in the fandom and a lot of Black fans of the show who feel that this is still a very whitewashed approach to the Black experience in Middle America, and especially Middle America in the 80s.
I challenge that because a lot of them weren't around for it.
Facts.
I question their credibility off rip, because if you haven't eaten Annihilator, and I said it the way that it's actually pronounced on the playground, Annihilator. If you haven't eaten Annihilator with half of the paper still on there, you can't accurately criticize what happened in Stranger Things. If you don't know what it's like to run fucking 10 blocks to chase down the Bomb Pop Man, you don't know what they're actually talking about. You don't remember that time period. I was there. I was there that day that the man literally saw us kids rocking there. Then he was like, I don't feel like dealing with your little broke asses. And he drove around the corner. I broke our hearts. It's very popular for people to criticize shit through a modern lens, even though they had no part of it during that actual time or now.
Yeah, the thing that strikes me about the 80s and 90s is like I don't remember too much about I don't remember like any overt racism in my school, right? Like, and I went to a school in Crete, Illinois, and this was in the 80s, right? So Crete, now I think Crete is mostly black. Back then it was probably like 30% because the white people hadn't quite escaped yet.
Nice wording.
Escape from the blacks.
Right. Well, it's the accurate wording, isn't it? White flight's the real thing.
That's not escaping, that's fleeing. Fleeing and escaping are two different words.
I picked the word on purpose.
Yeah. Reality versus perception.
Which is why I'm correcting you, because I also understand nuance. Thank you. But go ahead.
It was sarcasm.
Your sarcasm.
But the interesting thing is that, and I'll look forward to viewing this when I watch the show, is that you, while you don't realize like this is what people always say a lot. They're like, well, all this race stuff didn't exist. Why are they bringing it up now? Right? Like, everything was fine in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Why are they bringing it up now?
Oh yeah, it was fine.
And it's what it turns out is that while you didn't see super overt stuff, the case system basically, I'm talking about from a white perspective, right? Like, white people think that racism doesn't really exist because they think that racism, as I've said 1,000 times on this show, they think that
things can be true at the same
racism is, a bunch of guys dancing around a burning cross. And anything short of that, anything short of that does not qualify as racism.
But that's old people.
And
it's young people too, buddy. It's young people too.
So I'm surprised that this show, I have not seen anything about this show being called woke. Is it? Is this considered a woke show?
I don't think so.
So no, in all honesty, I think that one of the big things that a lot of people have complained about is that they feel that the show is essentially not woke enough, in the fact that you have maybe 2 at most major characters that are black or just people of color in general.
Yeah.
That outside of that, we have the younger sister Erica, who is essentially a sassy black girl caricature.
Right.
Is the major concept of her. That outside of, Lucas, despite the fact that he's been there since the first season, has not really been given any super deep, character developing concepts on what he is experiencing or feeling throughout the story. We have barely ever met their family.
I disagree though. Because if this is told, like think back, like Dutch is saying, like think about this in the 80s from the perspective of a white viewer. This is all they know about Lucas. This is all they know about her. This is all they know about Erica. She's so sassy. Oh, wow, he's so aggressive. That's how it might appear, but the more you watch the show, the more that you understand, these are probably two of the brightest children in this town. Like they are gems in this city. They are great. They're wonderful kids. Everybody would be fucking grateful if their kids ended up like Lucas and Erica. They would love it because they're fantastic children. Mm-hmm. But those children still struggle with the societal norms that they don't conform with by being themselves, which is a great young person. Like like if people have objections with the show about being woke or not being woke enough, you've missed the point. In the 80s, this is the creme de la creme. Like it hits a certain resonance for people of a certain age. But if you're too young, you just think, oh, why isn't half the school black? Because that's not how it was in the 80s.
Well, and the thing that I ultimately felt, I agree with you that I feel like the argument that this show is while yes, there are not a lot of black characters in the show, and the black characters that we do come across outside of the two of them, the other ones we've dealt with are the sassy black nurse at the hospital.
Yeah.
The military general who is not above torturing people for information.
He had to work hard to get to where he was. He didn't get there by fucking allowing exceptions.
Yeah. And I think a couple of other, like in the third season, Erica has a group of friends that are all young black girls. She's the only one who gets a line of dialogue, is the major problem that a lot of people have. It's a situation in which I understand that some people don't want to hear it's Indiana in the 80s. You're probably not going to see a lot of black people as an excuse, because at the same time, this is also a show of, but we also have monsters from another dimension coming across that have to be dealt with, which is a thing you never saw in the 80s.
I don't know.
It was more of a 90s thing.
Yeah.
Hawkins was real bad in the 80s, I remember.
But I recognize that, yes, we do run into a problem where a lot of the times when you're seeing black characters on the show, it is not fully deep dive, very developed. Some of them don't even get a character name when they're credited.
Right.
And that is a thing that I think could be handled better. I don't think it is a thing that makes the show invalid, but it is a thing that is probably a sad result of having a fully white creative team.
And I don't know if this is your next point, but I want to try to like push us into like the next like little piece of conversation here. I think, and as soon as you two dickheads up top, as soon as you dickheads watch the show, I think you will both feel, being Midwesterners like myself, Indiana's in Midwest. I don't care if they're in Eastern time zone, wherever they're Midwesterners just like us. That was a very accurate, monsters aside, it was a very accurate depiction of kids growing up in the 80s. And even like the racial issues that they had to face, Lucas and Erica, were accurate for the time. Like, that's not how people didn't have to fucking say, like, this is a sundown town. We don't allow blacks here after a certain shit was understood. And the characters played on those nuances that only black kids would know. They played on it. They did it. They reacted to it without a lot of So I think it's right. It is right. And Lucas being put in that position, and that's why I was so fucking like gung-ho about pinning Haas and Dutch into a corner, because I wanted them to answer. I wanted them to answer because Lucas had to answer. It's fucking 7:30. The game starts in half an hour. What are you going to do? Well, I think that so-and-so should go back in time. No, I'm forcing you to choose. Like, that's important, because that's what Lucas had to do in the show.
Hey, you're going to get out of here. I got a client at 5.
Okay.
We'll figure out a humidor.
Yeah, we can
we'll
record
do a
it later.
standalone.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out, fellas.
Love you, Haas. Good night, buddy.
Later, brother.
Good. He's gone.
I just switched over to.
Thanks for telling everybody. Thanks for telling everybody.
I might disappear for a second because my Wi-Fi was going bad, so I plugged into the hardwire. But I could tell I was lagging.
Black switch.
The one thing that I'll say that is, I don't know if this is the way that the show characterizes things, but like there was this weird thing in the late 80s, early 90s when I was in high school. I started high school in what would have been 87, and I graduated in 92. So my 30-year reunion is this weekend. So I'll be in Chicago for that. There was like 9 or 10 black kids in our school. A couple of them were into trouble, but most of them weren't. But like the ones who were in trouble, like everyone knew that they were in trouble, right? Like more so, and they were in trouble with white kids too, who hung around them. A few white kids, but like those white kids weren't looked at as like the troublemakers. It was Jermaine who was looked at as the troublemaker, right? Like Don Sherby, who hung right around with him, was not looked at as a troublemaker as much.
Which is why homie joined the fucking basketball team to get the spotlight off of him.
But there was this weird thing with like, and like I said, I don't know if this was touched on, but like the rest of the black guys, even the ones who were in trouble, there was like this concerted effort. Like everybody wanted to have a couple of black friends. That some of the girls wanted to date the black guy, but at the same time, you had this idea that, but you wouldn't go to a party where it was you and those 9 guys, but you'd be happy with having a couple of those guys come to a party at your house, right? Like, so it's like it's super weird how that worked out. Because like all those guys were popular, like all the black dudes in our school were popular.
They were sought after, but they may not have been popular.
It depends how you're defining the word popular.
Because everybody wants that token to show up at the party, like, oh yeah, and Jermaine was there. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to be able to check off that box that Jermaine and Jamal showed up at the party.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's what I'll throw in there. My router must be bad because I'm plugged in hardwire and I'm still lagging. I'm gonna have to call Spectrum. Anyway,
they don't really touch on it too much in the way the show goes because, again, part of the problem is the fact that they don't have much of a major interaction between black characters together.
Correct.
I think the first time Lucas gets to have a conversation with another like school age character who is
Lamar,
black,
you were not included in the cool group.
Is season 4 when he's dealing with the other black kid that's on the basketball team. And in all honesty, one of the things I thought was very interesting is there's a kind of subtle aspect to after they win the championship game, they all go and they're partying at this abandoned restaurant that they use as like a hangout. And Lucas goes and like everybody gets drunk. And the next morning they're all up and Lucas is hungover as shit. And the cops come and start questioning them about the night before because that's, the girlfriend died. And the first thing that happens is Lucas is very nervous about the fact that the cops are there. Yeah. And the other black kid on the team is the one who comforts Lucas about, look, man, don't be as worried. They're going to come in. They're going to ask a couple of questions. They're probably going to just, tell us we can't be here. And they're going to leave. It's the 2 black kids one black kid reassuring the other one.
The older black kid.
Yeah, the older black kid reassuring the younger black kid on the team. It's not as bad as it could be with police suddenly being here.
No. We're good. We're good. This is nothing.
We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
The white kids will talk to them and then they're going to leave.
We'll be fine.
And I thought that was an interesting thing that, granted, again, plenty of people are going to be like, yeah, but they didn't build more on that. And it's like, I get that. But at the same time,
it's a monster show.
Number one, we have so much story to get through in these seasons, no matter what. Number two, I think that the comment that I have made before is I recognize that we don't get into a situation where we see a vehemently blatant form of racism being thrown at any of these characters.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we did, would the show even benefit from that happening?
No. And that's something that's important to me, because being part of a systematically oppressed group, sorry if you guys didn't know that already, you don't build a lot of bridges, you don't gain a lot of allies by putting yourself on an island and saying that I am the only person that this happens to. No one has had suffering like me.
Sounds like Trump.
What really helps you is for you to maintain your cool in a situation that is bonkers to everyone else around you. And then they look at you like, why aren't you upset about this? And that's what the OG black kid let fucking my boy Sinclair know. He's like, yo, chill. Don't overreact. We got white kids with us. They're going to get this all sorted out. We'll be out of here in about 15, 20 minutes. Just chill out. We good.
And I know
that situational awareness is a larger part of the larger Hawkins story that a lot of white viewers might have gleaned on.
And it's especially, I also think it's especially a thing that is, again, it's not a thing that's touched on. It's not a thing that's blatantly spoken, but it's also these two black kids having to recognize that, like, yeah, we're going to be okay. We've got white kids with us. Like, you know, clearly we didn't do anything that they weren't doing. So as long as we don't lose our heads, we can't suddenly get pointed out as like, well, I don't know, those black kids are acting kind of shady about this. But it's also,
they drink all this beer.
Yeah, it's also a police force that is headed by a black sheriff.
Yep.
Now, that means that even if the two of them wound up getting questioned, there's a good chance, I think Dutch fully froze. Yeah. There is a good chance that they probably aren't going to be getting grilled nearly as hard. I mean, granted, we know, we as an audience know as time has gone on that, you know, Hopper was obviously not someone who was going to be pointing out the black kids and going, question them. But it's not
beating up Russians.
Yeah, it's also a thing where, like, you know, a 14-year-old black kid isn't going to assume the white sheriff might have it out for him in a situation like this.
Right.
But it's an aspect in which, like, I know some of the things that I've seen pointed out, especially about the fourth season. It's a lot of things throughout the show itself, but especially in the fourth season. I know I found an article. I'm going to pull up the name of it because I feel like I want to prove that I actually did any form of research.
From OANN.
Published in July of this year in Teen Vogue by Caitlin McNabb. The article was called... Now, funny enough, Caitlin McNabb, very white-sounding name. Looked up. She is, in fact, a black lady. Stranger Things Season 4 finale was scary enough. Lucas didn't need to be held at gunpoint, was the name of this article. And the argument that she makes is essentially it's saying... it's asking the question of, when all of the white people are fighting monsters from another dimension, why were the two black kids in the show the only ones fighting legitimate white people who were holding them at gunpoint?
Because that's a real actual never mind.
And that's the thing that I thought of was like, so here's a big thing that I've always recognized with the show is they have held and they've worn on their sleeve the influence of Stephen King and the horror stories he wrote from the 70s and 80s as a big thing that inspired the show. If there's one thing that Stephen King is known for in the stories that he tells, is that the big thing he tries to push is that whether the story is about ghosts, monsters from another dimension, a clown that lives in the sewer that's actually an alien that can look like whatever it is that you fear, the thing that is more terrifying than these monsters are the real human horrors that exist in the world that we live in.
Yeah.
Things like an abusive alcoholic father is far more scary than a hotel full of ghosts out in Colorado.
You got a 50-50 shot.
That the idea of a monster that looks like the things you fear most when you're a child, sometimes those things are the Wolfman from the movie that you saw, And sometimes those things are, you know, the parent that hits you.
Yeah.
Or sometimes those things are the police. And
people
so
that are protecting you.
Yeah. And so it's the idea of, I don't think to look at it as, why does the black kid got to be the one who has to face the white guy with a gun? Because you know what? I hate to say it, more times than not, the black kid's going to be the kid who has to face the white guy who has a gun.
Because that's real.
That's life. And I understand that maybe the thing that people are most upset about is, why is it that the white guys all get to be heroes fighting monsters from another dimension and they get to look cool, while the black character has to face with something that all of us have dealt with in our lives? They don't get to go, storming into the Upside Down with swords to go be the heroes. But
and I'm glad the nerds are gone, because I'm tired of fucking explaining shit to them. And they're not. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go ahead and watch whatever show that they want to put up as a bet. I'll finish it before they watch episode 2. They're not going to watch it. They're going to talk a lot of shit because we're recording it, but they're not actually going to watch it. Stranger Things is important because as soon as people complain that it's not realistic in the aspect, they have already told on themselves that they have a blind spot. If you don't think that any part of that show is realistic, I mean,
outside of the monsters,
psychokinetic power, like, sure, if you want to argue that, let's have that argument. But as soon as you start getting into character development and so should have this role and so shouldn't have that role, go ahead and explain it for me. Tell me all about it. Tell me why Lucas is a bad character. Tell me why he's being tokenized. You out there in the internet person, you tell me why Lucas isn't relatable. As a non-black person who wasn't a non-black person during the 80s. You tell me why it's wrong. It's dead on. And I don't even know if the creators of the show knew how accurate it was. And that 4th season where the jock influence came in, because what do they always try to do with black kids?
Put them on the sports team.
Gotta get you on that basketball team with your high 3rd Achilles tendon having ass. Jump up there. Jump on up. Hit them shots. Steph Curry. Like, that's like that honestly, in the 80s, that was probably the most unrealistic part of the fucking show. You didn't shoot 3-pointers in the 80s. That wasn't a thing. There was no, like, you didn't do that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you didn't shoot the 3 in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
You fucking drove and kicked until someone got fucking clotheslined because defense was stupid back then. Like, that hitting a 3-pointer is a very modern thing to connect with the kids. But all of the fucking shit that the black kids went through in that show is what happens. That is what it feels like to be a black kid growing up pre-2000. If you don't know that, then you're not talking to your black friends enough, or they don't want to talk to you about it.
I think
one of is not the show's problem.
Yeah. One of the interesting things I saw as an argument about, like, a tokenization of the characters is the very patriotic attitude that Erica has. That you can't spell America without Erica. I'm absolutely down with trying to take down the Russians, walking around wearing the American flag as a cape, at the beginning of the 4th season. But one of the things I find really interesting about that is I understand that your attitude is you're essentially saying, why would a young black girl be really gung-ho behind America? Right. Because the government and obviously America itself is not something that supports her.
Thank you for explaining our case for us.
But at the same time, in the mid-80s, in a Midwestern town where they are already part of the middle class, why, during the Cold War, would an 11-year-old girl not be buying into all of the media that is being fed to her that we, America, are the good guys? Rocky, Rambo, all this shit that you see all the time that is saying we got to take on those pesky Reds because they've got the nukes and they're trying to ruin our way of life.
The Ruskies.
So you're telling me that a young girl in middle school would have the adult wisdom and wherewithal to say, but why would I support a government that is telling me that the Russians are a problem that we have to face every day when they are systematically putting down black people in a situation that I personally have never seen, have never experienced enough of in my life, and does not affect me, a child, in the same way it would an adult.
Right.
So, like, look, man, I went through 9/11. I was one of those kids who in 2001 was talking about, oh, they woke the sleeping giant and blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't until I was in fucking high school and beyond when I suddenly had the ability to go, well, wait a minute, that doesn't fucking make sense. Why would that happen? Why would we have done that? Why did we go to fucking, why are we after Saddam? He didn't have anything to do with 9/11.
Saddam was Iraq, and I thought Afghanistan was responsible, and Saudi Arabia was responsible for 9/11. But we're in Iraq, and then they said, sign this paper, young man.
Uh-huh. Now don't ask again. Oh, okay. But
I ran so far away.
It's an aspect in which I think the problem is that if what you want to find is racism, you'll find it no matter where you're looking. And you can easily make things into being worse than they are. Now, that's not to say, again, I'm not pretending like racism doesn't exist, obviously.
What?
And I'm not pretending like the show itself couldn't do better in some of the representation that it could offer up.
What did you want to, what would you think would have made it better?
I do think having at least a few more named characters of color throughout your series would help. I get it's the Midwest, so that's not
that would have been unrealistic. That would have been unrealistic. I'm surprised we got any characters at all.
I think I'm not entirely against the idea of the fact that, you know, Lucas is the Raphael of this 4-person group.
Yeah.
But the fact that he made a comment about, well, I don't want to be Winston because, I mean, he's not even a scientist. He's not one of the smart ones. If we maybe saw that Lucas had a bit more of an interest in the sciences, granted, I mean, like, he's already hanging out with his nerdy friends. They're all part of the AV club and whatever else.
Right.
But we almost only ever see Lucas as the hot-headed muscle of the group. And what I think is interesting, though, is also in the first season, despite being the hot-headed muscle, Lucas winds up being right most of the time when it comes to what's going on.
His intuition is on fucking point. His internal compass is not off.
Yeah,
he's nailing it.
And I think that's a thing that I would have liked to have seen maybe hit a few more times. It fell away past season 1, but it's not entirely gone. I mean, yes, the fact that he's, you know, stuffing giant things of fireworks into his backpack when they're hiding out in season 3, it's kind of played off as a joke, but also as time goes on, it winds up being a saving grace.
Hey, you're running up that hill, you're fighting in the mall, you need some fireworks.
So I mean, there are things that could be approached in which you're creating the show to specifically be more representative of Black experience and Black people now.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that, granted, you know, outside of being a white guy, I'm a white kid that didn't live in the 80s and especially not in the Midwest. I cannot speak to whether this is truly accurate to a Midwestern Black experience, but as I have learned throughout the show today, it is far more than I ever would have guessed.
It's they got a lot more right than wrong.
Yeah. And in the end, my feeling is if you had a moment in this show, even at the moment where Jason is pointing a gun at Lucas, to have an instance in which we decide, you know what, we're going to go full mustache twirling big bad, and a white character calls Lucas the N-word to his face. It would not actually add anything other than basically being a Quentin Tarantino moment of the white guy gets to say the N-word in this script.
Yep. Thank you. And Delhauer, this is why I fucks with you, because you get it. Like there's a way of displaying and expressing the Black experience, especially in this country, without it being nigger. And then how big of a profile person can I get to drop the M-bomb? Like that's Tarantino's shit. Like, first of all, how do I get a black man in a dress getting fucked in the ass? And also, how many times can I say the N-word before they cancel my movie? Like, I feel like that's his shtick.
No, but guys, this one takes place in the 1800s. So
but Kill Bill needed anyway. That's his kink, and I'm not trying to kink shame, but I also know that I'll never trust Quentin Tarantino as long as Margaret Cho is around. I liked the fact, and we got to wrap up here because we're way over for time.
Way over time.
Thank you for all the people. Did we get rated? I think we got rated. Who rated us? Thank you for the raid. Echoplex. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Great peoples, great folks out there. And make sure everybody, let me pull them up on another window real quick. I'll pull up Echoplex because I'm following them on my personal account because I just can't get enough of their riveting content. Oh my God, there's a girl licking ears on the fucking main page of fucking Twitch. Twitch, do something. I don't want to see this anymore. Make it go away.
My God, that is disgusting. Where is it? Where is it that I could watch this happen?
Do you want me to send the link?
This is unbelievable. Can you forward that? Can you forward that?
I can't believe
I just want to know what pages I have to avoid.
Give me that link so I can block it right away. But Echoplex, thanks you guys. You guys are amazing.
That's probably one of my favorite jokes that they ever had in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Your boyfriend put nudes of you on the internet? That is upsetting. That is disgusting. What website was it that he did that to?
I'll do you one better, and it's a little bit older, but not by much. This is a shakedown. You and 4 of those prostitutes get out of here right now.
You get out of here, Dewey. We're smoking marijuana cigarettes, and you don't want none of this shit.
That's the only Cleveland line that I still like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 prostitutes.
You never once paid for drugs.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Rob. I love that. But we are kind of getting towards that. We're running up that hill.
Yeah, we're running up that hill, and we're making that deal with God that I stayed up until 3 fucking a.m. It's a good thing I slept for like 3 hours earlier today.
Yo, Kate Bush is like, oh my God, I love Stranger Things.
Could you imagine going through your career where you're like a moderately successful artist, and you're like, all right, well, I guess that was my run. Everyone was like, okay with it. I did fine. You kind of know my name, and that's fine. 35 years later, you fucking blow up on the charts.
Her Spotify was shitting on it was like 10 million in like 24 hours.
Yep.
Everyone was fucking pumping Run Up the Hill. And let me tell you something. My music is on Spotify right now. 10 million fucking listens. It's like $3. That's big.
That's true. That's
on
the other side of the decimal, baby.
That's the sad state of affairs. I'm glad you guys gave her like $14.
If I go to Spotify and I look up Kate Bush right now,
1000% it's the number 1 song.
Running Up That Hill, top song on her page.
Oh shit!
680 million plays. The next song, a song called Wuthering Heights, 141 million plays.
Oh, that's painful. That's painful.
Of the top 5 songs on her page, only 3 of them break over 1 million plays. Nope, sorry, break over 100 million plays.
I made this music tonight for us, for our Stranger Things talk. I got those like VHS thriller type organs going. Matt, thank you. I would love for us to do like either a Patreon event or after these asshole nerds actually watch the show, can actually comment on things instead of arguing with me about things from their personal life, as opposed to arguing with things that actually happen in the show. Like that was most of the show tonight, unfortunately. But thank you so much for joining us. Where can people get a hold of you?
So people looking for me can usually find me on Twitter. My handle at MattyDVO72. Or just look up Matt Delhauer if you want to spell out my name. It's right there. It's right.
I think I just had it ready to clip and then I fucked it up.
That's usually the best place to find me. As time goes on, there may be other places, possibly the return of a certain Ginger Geek podcast.
Ooh.
Y'all
don't know.
Who knows?
Y'all don't know what y'all are missing. Like, that's a big deal. We want that. We want that shit.
So, as well as we had made comment before, the possibility of also returning to streaming on Twitch myself with playing video games. Where a funny white guy with a beard plays scary games and goes, I don't like it. I don't like this.
So his Twitch is right Shma in the chat. Or Shma? Maybe it's Shma. I don't know. Maybe it's on the right for me, but it might be directly under.
You're gonna find it. Oh God!
That shit.
Oh, you're giving me a fucking seizure, Mikey.
What are you talking about? Matt, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Big Haas, thank you. I missed you. I love you. Dutch, hi. Tim Bristol, thanks for plopping in. Jeffrey was a guest in the first hour. No, Dutch, I love you too. You ugly bitch. For everybody who's new out here and this is your first time seeing us, I'm Mikey Famine. I'm the producer. I'm the brains behind the operation. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Pornhub, wherever you think you might be able to find us. Look, we might be there. Check out patreon.com/digonamerica. Give us all of your stimulus money, all the money that you've been grifting, the money that your baby mama gave you, but it was more than what you actually needed. All that extra. Give it right here. We will see you guys next Wednesday night. Oh, wait. Breaking Barriers is on a Friday. Breaking Barriers will be on the same network on Friday. Dig on America will be back on Wednesday. Lauren's on Sunday. We have so much content coming out for you guys. So please, please, please hit the follow button. Hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. We will see you guys next time. So for Mikey Famine, Jason Dutch, Big Haas, Attorney Anna, Tim Bristol, Matt Delhauer, Homelander, Sonic the Hedgehog, Ugandan Knuckles. We'll see you guys next time. I love you guys. Be safe, be well, and be here next week. Bye-bye.
Good night, Power Bottoms.
Oh, I missed the button. I moved it instead of clicking it. God damn it.